All right, hello, welcome. My name is Shaina. I'm an astrologer and tarot reader, and today we are doing another pick a card reading in my new home. And yes, Pixie is hanging out here with me. Today is an 18 plus reading. We're going to be talking about some touchy subjects, and we're going to be talking about intimacy. I'm going to say the word intimacy, but what I really mean is the more vulgar term that rhymes with hex. I'm probably going to say ridiculous things throughout this reading, but I feel like everybody says at the beginning you should be careful, so that's, I guess, what I'm doing. Now, this is not just any classic reading about intimacy. Whenever I watch these videos, at least the ones that I have found personally, they're through a little bit of a different lens than I want this one to be. Now, you can ask about yourself if you would like, but I will be speaking about this as though it's somebody else that you're asking about. You know, it's hard to be safe out there, right? And that's been something that I've been thinking about a lot. And sometimes you don't know people's true intentions. But not only that, you don't know what people's true wants and desires. And that's what I want to talk about today. Like, I also want to talk about, like, are you safe with this person or not? Is this person safe in the bedroom or not? What are their real turn-ons and turn-offs? What are they actually interested in? All that kind of stuff. This isn't going to be one of those readings where it's like, oh, they want you, and oh my God, it's gonna be, like, you know, when they're like, oh, it's gonna be crazy. They might, like, have a bandana and blindfold you. Like, I'm tired of watching those readings. No, we're getting down to the brass tacks of the true nature of this person. So that's why this is an 18 plus reading. Before I get any further into the reading, let me get some advertisement out of the way. So I'm selling birth chart readings on my website, shainaemily.com. I also sell tarot readings on there as well. I obviously sell astrology readings, transit progress chart readings, synastry readings, astrocartography readings. I sell a bunch of readings over there. I also have a TikTok at shaina.emily on TikTok. I post very frequently. I post most days over there, and I also go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you're ever wondering what time I'm going live next, I always update it in my bio because it does change every now and then. Yes, I also have a backup TikTok at shaina.emily backup. It's kind of just like a little spam account. I post when I feel, more personal, conversational, all that stuff. But yes, that is the advertising out of the way. So let's just get into it. Today I have 5 piles. I have more piles than normal. I feel like I need to do like 12 in all actuality. Like, people are so different. There's so many intricacies. So I'm going to be doing 5 piles. So this one, more than others, you might pick up, you know, 2 piles for somebody. Like, you know, maybe there's, oh, this is them when they're having fun. This is their background in history, right? Like, you know, so just go with intuitively what you feel. Now, hello, hi, welcome to my other camera. Also, just in general, which camera do you like more? Should I just, this is my iPhone. This is my actual camera, and I'm starting to think my iPhone quality might actually be a little bit better, even though this is a really, really nice camera. I spent a lot of time researching. It's kind of, the quality looks like crap, so I'm like, should I just be switching to my iPhone? Anyways, that's not the point. So we got 5 piles here. They each have a card, an indicator card. I'm going to be using these, like, I love these things. I've used them for, like, all my readings, the little, like, planetary essential oils. So, pile 1, we have the Sun and Venus. Pile 2 is Neptune. Pile 3, this one's been through the ringer. It's very Uranian. This is pile 3 is Uranus. This one, like, spilled everywhere. It's very chaotic. It was very chaotic in the bag when I bought it, very Uranus. And then we have, for the 4th pile, Jupiter. And then for the 5th and final pile, we have Mercury and Saturn. You are welcome to pick according to the essential oil and the vibe of the planet that you're picking up on, or you can just pick intuitively. Buckle your seatbelts. This is really, really going to be 18 plus, so please be advised. Like, really, please be advised. Don't get offended. Also, I should say, I never say this in front of my tarot readings, but this one, more than ever, this is like, all alleged, for entertainment purposes only. You know, if I say something and it, like, doesn't resonate, just throw it away. But let's get into the nitty gritty of what is this person like in bed? What is this person like and dislike in bed? And honestly, is this person a predator or somebody you should be sketched out over or not? In that form and shape. Let's get into it. All right, welcome pile 1. So, already I'm getting a pretty vanilla vibe from this pile. Just off of vibes, the decks that I picked. I mean, everybody has their, their secrets and that and their little things, and that's coming out too. But it seems like this person has, if anything, more of a hesitant energy than a predator energy. Like it seems like they're a little bit extra cautious, nervous. They like to have fun in the bedroom, but it seems pretty pure-hearted. I mean, we'll see. It does seem like there's something going on in the background of it, but the vibe I get is pretty clear and clean. If anything, this might be somebody who is a late bloomer or is more, what I'm getting the vibe of, like, an appropriate bloomer. Like, it's just relatable. They, maybe lost their virginity around the time that everybody else did. There's this kind of more basic vibe. I don't know. We have the sun and the Venus, and we have sun and Venus. Maybe they like to be treated a little bit more, something like that. But so I pulled out a few things that were being called for me to use. We have, I have my germ jar here, and I already drew one of these fortunes. I like to do things on camera, but for some reason when I was pulling it, I was like, this is it. So it says, your kindness will lead to happiness. You know, exactly. That's kind of what I was picking up on, Sun and Venus. Maybe this is a person that's a real giver. Maybe they're, depending on their orientation and what they like. I feel like they're maybe like more of an eater or more of a head giver. I'm like, that's appropriate to say, right? Those words, I can say eating and head, right? Because I'm thinking of YouTube. Anyways, so yeah, it seems like this person's very giving. Let's see here. I do want to, yes. Okay, let's first, I feel like this person's a little bit more straight. Whatever their, you know what it is. It's not, and this, what's so funny? My definition of straight is honestly, sometimes I'm kind of like, being straight gay is kind of straight because you only like that one thing. Like, I don't know, that's such a weird thing to say, but I'm like, there's something kind of straight about being gay, like straight 100% gay, like you just picked one and stuck with it. So if they're gay, they're not bi. If they're straight, they're not bi, is kind of more of the vibe I'm getting. Like, they don't like to play with both teams. They have their one team. They picked it. That's what they're doing. That's what they're always going to do, is kind of the vibe. Okay, so for the card I drew, for every pile, I have 3, like, sexual decks. And so this is from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And we have, I mean, that makes sense. 3 of Cups. Very Sun, very Venus. This person likes to indulge. Maybe this person, if anything, maybe what it is, they're kind of vanilla, but they have like a very high body count. It's kind of giving that. It's giving like, what they do in the bedroom isn't anything too crazy. But there's like this very like lusty vibe, maybe this person has cheated. Like if they've done anything sketchy or weird, they just cheated. You know what I mean? Not just, but like, it's classic, like the classic cheating situation, but they're very lusty. They're very much like sensual, like the body. That makes sense. I was like, Taurus energy is coming through. That makes sense. We have Venus. And I know the 3 of Cups is traditionally like a threesome card, but I feel like the energy that's on this is kind of the vibe where there's this sort of just more general lusty, sensual energy. Maybe the craziest thing they've ever done is have a threesome, but maybe they're one of those people where it's like if they were a girl and a girl-girl threesome, they wanted nothing to do with the other girl. Like it's kind of giving that they just wanted to be like the main character and be treated, and the other person just like happened to be there, or the other guys happened to be there. Like it kind of gives like that vibe. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see here. Let's see what this says. I'm just curious. Passion. Well, that makes sense. Sun and Venus. The magic of the egg. The egg is a promise of life. It indicates improvement, success in love, and relief from heartbreak. Maybe this person that you're asking about is also in like a really good place mentally right now to actually get into a relationship, right? We have the Sun and the Venus coming forward. So we have the Sun where there's like this confidence. Maybe they've been single for some time, or they know themselves well enough now at this point. This person seems actually kind of healthy. And then we have Venus, right? So this person is actually looking for love, right? I think what it is this person is like, if they've experimented, they've done it in the past, and now they're looking for something just more pure-hearted and lusty and sensual, but nothing too crazy or too outside of the box. Like, they're kind of tired of, maybe they're even a little more conservative, or they're like overwhelmed where things are going in the world. I don't know what that means. We have Sea Witch. I also pulled out this. This is Sea Witch Botanical Krampus Spray. Christmas. I wonder if there is some timing with Christmas coming up. Now, this is a time, I love the smell of this. Maybe this gives such Taurus vibes, like, right? Like, maybe they like smells. Maybe sometimes they'll incorporate food, you know. Yeah, I think they really care a lot about touch, and I actually think they care a lot about things like kissing more than other people. So if you're a bad kisser, that's gonna like weigh on them and really strong, and maybe they've even like, you know, stopped things with somebody just because like something like kissing isn't even right. Let's do a little bit of some clearing here. I do feel like this person is ready. Like, I really do hope that you're coming to this reading and this is somebody that you're interested in, because it's giving good energy, especially if you're a monogamous person. Like I said, this person might have a little bit of a rougher history, just because I think this person struggles to not indulge in something if they want it, or someone if they want it. I don't think anything that they want is too creepy or strange, but I do think there can be a little bit like they had a wandering eye, or they were just very pleasure-centered in the past. Maybe they've even been with a few people that they look back on and they're like, wouldn't do that again. Yeah, I was a little desperate, right? But I just feel like this person's ready to find love, and that's really what they're looking for more in. So like I said, I really feel like they've done their clearing work. They've done their healing work. Like, this is number one. They're ready to go. And I was saying Christmas. Yeah, maybe something will happen around Christmas time. Maybe their birthday's around Christmas time. Maybe they really, you know what it may be? Maybe they really want somebody that they can bring home to their parents, or bring home to their family, or have them meet their friends or something, right? Like, maybe they're looking for like the wifey, gender neutral right now. And so if that's true, can you provide that for them? Is that what you're looking for as well? Maybe you're one of these other piles and you're not ready for all of that. Maybe you're coming to this pile and you're just looking for a fun fling, but this person's not just looking for a fun fling. So take that seriously if you're not as serious about them. Okay. Now I'm going to pull from this little booklet. Y'all know I love my fairy booklets. Maybe sometimes they've fallen for the manic pixie dream girl before, and that's gender neutral too. Like, I've met, like, what would be, I don't know what the guy's version of that would be, but like, I've met men that give that vibe, so I don't know. So maybe that's something that they've fallen for before, and they're not looking for that. Maybe they've been love bombed before, and they want it to be really loving and fun, but they don't want it to be this like overwhelming experience. They want to play it smart, actually. But I do feel like they're so lusty that they can never wait to get it on. Like, that's something that they struggle with. Anyways, okay, let's pull from here. There's another one in here. Some things just require a little more energy than expected. So maybe you're like, oh my God, Shaina, I've been going out with this person for, you know, we've been talking for a month now, and they don't seem to have really any interest in, you know, in the bedroom. Just be patient. That's actually a good sign. They used to be somebody that would just jump in and not think about it. And now they're just trying to be smart, and it's a sign that they really like you, and they're not even playing it safe with you. They're trying to be methodical, right? Maybe in the past they would have already been in the bedroom, but they're trying to, they want their next person to be a story that they can tell their family, their kids, their, you know, some old person, and it would be like appropriate and sweet. So it's kind of coming from that. There's one more. Time to leave. Whoa. Okay, weird. Time to leave. Okay, we'll pull a card on that. Time to leave. Because I was getting good vibes from them. Time to leave. Maybe they're a little hesitant about you if you're asking this. Time to leave. I want to take that seriously. I don't want to just throw that away. So let's pull some cards. Time to leave. What's some information? This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot, in case you're curious. That's what I'm using. If they did ghost you, this is somebody that you're just going to have to let it go, because you're looking for something that they're not looking for. Maybe you're not taking things as seriously and they're just like, listen, in the past I would have wanted to just screw you and walk away, but I'm trying to, find my forever person and get a person that really inflates my ego. So maybe if this is a casual situation and you're not taking it that seriously, it is time to go. And if this is you that you're asking about, maybe you're thinking about somebody right now, or you're talking about somebody right now, and it's just not the right person for you that you're actually looking for. Time to leave. So we have the Six of Swords reversed. Interesting. I'll show it to you upright, but just know it came out reversed. That's making me wonder, Six of Swords reversed. I did bring up cheating, and there is the Three of Cups, and we do have Sun and Venus. So maybe there's somebody, and I said if there is anything weird with them, it's like a third party. So maybe there's a little bit of like a love triangle involved here. Maybe you're like maybe the person that you're asking about, maybe you're more of like a side hoe with them. And it's like just time to cut that off, because they're just going to be stringing you along for a long time. And so there's really, it is really giving love triangle. So if there's a third party, then they're more serious about the third party than they are you. And they tend to find themselves, so this is a love triangle pile, basically, is what I'm getting at now. And it says your kindness will lead to happiness. This is like a lover boy. And you know what it's gender neutral, but there's a certain vibe to lover boys where lover boys become players. It's like the Taurus pipeline, right? They start off as lover boys and good eaters, and then in the future, they just become like overindulgent and overly decadent so I think maybe that's a little bit going on. That kind of makes me sad. I was really rooting for this energy here, but it is giving a little bit of like, it's not even player. It's not player energy, because this person has, what it is? This person has people fall in love with them when they're really just looking for a hookup. Like this is somebody who, and this is so Taurus energy. It's very like maybe Taurus Leo, because the sun's here as well, right? I know Libra's involved too. Taurus, Leo, Libra honestly feels like all the vibe I've been getting. And they're pretty like, they are kind of vanilla in bed, but dude, they be little hoes, But I interrupted myself. Fuck. But it does, this is somebody who it's like, even if they're just having a hookup with somebody, they like, it's like that manic pixie dream girl energy. Maybe they have that energy, like that lover boy energy, where it's like they get you to fall for them, even though they know that they're super involved with somebody else and they have feelings for somebody else. Maybe this is somebody that hasn't gotten over an ex in the past. And I also do feel like, I was going to say one more thing before I looked at the card. I can't remember now. Okay, maybe I'll remember. But we also have the Three of Blades, which is the Three of Swords. We have two swords. So that's what I was going to say. Okay, that makes sense. Just because we have two swords coming out, it came out reversed, but this is what it looks like upright. Just because we have two swords coming out, this makes me feel like they talk a lot. Like, like they're able to turn on the charm conversationally. Maybe they have their Mercury in a Venusian sign. Maybe they're very interested in like dirty talk and sexting. Maybe they have a little bit of a problem with, online dating apps and following girls on Instagram. Like that's kind of the vanilla vibe nowadays. You know what I mean? Like they all be just wanting that instant pleasure, but maybe they're not really one to I think what it is at the end of the day is they are able to use words to they can't just somebody. They always have to make them fall in love with them, or try to, or they can't just fuck somebody. They always fall in love with them. It's like somebody who has a side hoe, but they're having that side hoe, not just be there to be there. That side hoe is like writing love letters and falling deeply in love. So just be careful. Okay, so we have specifically the Three of Swords reversed. And that just occurred to me what this card is. I didn't even think about it. So this is all about a heartbreak that they haven't been able to get over. They're not able to cut it off. They're not able, they're really stuck on somebody else. So this person has no, in my opinion, like really too scary, sketchy things going on, in their porn browser history, but they definitely have a very large porn browser history. But it's more that they have not been able to get past a previous love or relationship, which is very fixed sign coded. We do have, and even sometimes Libra too. I think they just really like it when people like them. This is like the charmer pile. You know what I mean? And I think that they're not necessarily like plutonic in their messiness. It's more that it comes from this place of not wanting to deny themselves good things. Okay, let's pick one card before we close up from the Alice in Wonderland Oracle and one card from the Lay Vampire Oracle. I use these decks all the time. You guys know I love them. So we're going to get something, let's ask about like their turn-ons and turn-offs. So this Alice in Wonderland Oracle will be a turn-on. I'm worried that this is going to like fly away, so I'm just going to put it away here. And yeah, they really, really, really like, like they're very aware of what people wear. Because I keep on wanting to spray this. So it's like about the vibe. It's about the ambiance. It's about the aesthetic. They really like what people wear. They really like to dress themselves. They like finer things, finer clothes. I think if they have anything that's like weird in the bedroom, it's like a food thing, and even then it's like, oh, like whipped cream. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing too abnormal or too crazy. Maybe this is somebody that would like to go out for oysters and an aphrodisiac, like very classic in that energy. So this is the turn on. Interesting. That makes sense. I feel like I don't even know. I don't have a real person in mind, but like I feel like there's a person that's being created in my head and they're like so vivid right now. Okay, so, and then this is a turn off, but it's secretly a turn on. Okay, weird. Okay, so for the turn on, we have We're All Mad here, and it says everyone is a little different. So they're the person interested in I feel like they like people that they're taking on more than they can chew. Does that make sense? Like I think fantasize about the person that's like just crazy in the bedroom and like wild. It's very much so classic to me. Like it is giving very vanilla to me, like just classic. I don't know if vanilla is the right word, but to me, like it's giving very like, what is it? Something on the streets, freak in the sheets. Like they like that kind of person. And I feel like they really go for somebody that seems very like daring and wild, but then they just want to do like very classic things in the bedroom. Like they want to like show that person that you don't need any of these like tricks going on. Like you just need body to body, and sometimes I think I think that's a reason why they've been weirdly heartbroken in the past, because there's this like, they are super lusty, but they're not experimental, but they go for people that are. And there's like a mix match there. So for their turn off, we have rebellion reversed, upstart, tumult, revolution. So I think their turn off, it's like when somebody's too Marsy, like when somebody's too, like crass, crude, like they would maybe even be offended by the fact that you're looking at this reading because like they don't like how I'm speaking and the words that I'm using, you know what I mean? Like they might, like maybe they were raised a little religious and it's still in the back of their mind sometimes, even if they are religious or not. Like I just feel like that kind of conditioning comes up. And it's like the exact person that they're attracted to is the exact person that they're not attracted to. This is very classic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are always like this. Does that make sense? Like, it's just giving like, I think I can handle all that, and I can, but not in the long term. And they're going for their long-term person, but yet they keep on, I think, picking these people that are crude and crass, and like, it's like the Taurus and Leo going for the Scorpio Aquarius. It's giving that kind of vibe, you know, and they know that that person is not what they want in the long run, but there's something about it. It's like maybe they have a love of the game, you know, where they're like, I want to try to maybe tame this person a little bit, or show this person that all that they really need is love, something like that. But yeah, so just as much as crazy is the turn on, crazy is the turn off. It's like they want somebody who's crazy, but not like crass and crude. Like, they want somebody that's just like a little bit like goofy and silly, like hee hee silly. But the second somebody gets like actually wild and weird, I think they get very freaked out and they kind of step away. So if this person has like kind of stepped away from you at all, it might be because you like opened up to them and told them something about your past and they were like judging you, or you wore something that was a little bit wild and they thought, do I really want to have this person on my arm all the time? Or you come from a family that's, you know, the other person comes from a family that's a little bit like, you know, maybe they don't have any stable family and they like it at first. Yeah, this person does have some issues, I'll be honest. But it's like it's very just like, it's messy. Maybe they're younger. Maybe they're like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But maybe they do have a little bit of an immaturity in them that you're like, wow, like after all this time, like you still haven't really grown up and out of this, you know? Like, come on. Yeah. Let's do one final thing. There's something else that we need to touch on. What's a way for this person to heal? You can always make a wish, but do you know what you will do when it comes true? So, I'll show it to you. So they just need to be more realistic with their expectations of who they want, what they want, and what they're attracted to. Like, genuinely. They just need a little bit of like, they just kind of need to reality check themselves. If they say they want marriage, are they actually acting like that, or are they acting like they want a quick fix, right? We have to have the objective fit the actions. And I think that right now it's just not. We have the Hanged Man. So some advice for them is actually, I feel like they need to reassess and step back. Like, yes, this person thinks that they're ready for a long-term relationship and they are telling you that, or you're thinking that, or whatever it is. But the reality of the fact is that there needs to be a little bit more time. Like, yes, this person knows themselves and knows what they want, but like I said, why aren't their actions then aligning with that if they know so well, right? It's like somebody that knows, like a girl that knows their ex is toxic for them, but they keep on going back to them, that same guy over and over, even though they know that they're not getting what they want from them, right? So they just need to kind of take a step back, take some time, and distance themselves from the people that they know. So if this is like you're asking about somebody else, if they distance themselves from you, you're just a little bit too much for them. You're a little bit too wild. You're probably, you know, maybe one of the other piles here that's like, you know, a little bit more off the handle. And they just don't really know what to do with all that badunkadunk. That was so goofy. That was so corny. They need to like go to therapy just real quick, nothing too serious, or like, you know, just like, or maybe they need to have a little bit of a reality check in some way. But I do feel as though, you know, at worst, this person is a little manipulative because they really know how to get what they want and they like getting what they want. So they'll kind of, you know, play the game. But that's the worst, in my opinion. I really just don't think there's anything coming out where this person, I just think this person would never want to do something with somebody that doesn't want to do something with them. I actually think that's like a really big thing for them. Like, they might try to you know, pull up the charm and, you know, schmooze and like get you on their side. but I just don't think have any interest in being with somebody that's not reciprocating, because they like the confidence that comes with being with somebody that likes them so much. Like, that's a big thing for them. You know, it's giving very Taurus, Libra, Leo all over the place, where it's like they get off on the fact that you want them to. So that's good. But yeah, they can be a little bit loose-lipped in a few ways. So yes, that is your pile, whether that's you or somebody else. This is pile 1. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it maybe resonated or helped you in some way, gain some clarity. Remember, again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. You know, this is all alleged. So, you know, just putting that out there. Be safe, okay? Be safe and use your intuition in the moment. But yeah, got a little bit of a clearing here. Yeah, maybe they just need a simple little clearing. It seems like it's nothing too intense. It seems like it's fixable, honestly. Maybe in Christmas they'll get it and it'll click and they'll be like, oh, I really do want, you know, wifey, husbandy, and let's readjust the situation here, because I've mentioned Christmas, you know. But yes, that is your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. And don't forget, I sell full-length tarot readings and just in general, all sorts of astrology readings on my website, shainaemily.com. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye. All right, hello, welcome pile 2. So for some reason, I'm kind of excited about this pile. I don't know why. It's kind of like, I think I'm excited to use this thing. I felt called. I haven't used one of these like tarot mats before where there's, I don't know, just experimental, interesting. Maybe this person's very experimental because I've never done this before. I've actually never even used it in my personal life before. So maybe this, if you're asking about somebody else, maybe this person wants, like, still has a lot of firsts that they want to try, and maybe they're very, like, open and willing, but sometimes maybe they kind of go into it a little blind. Very Neptune, right? Like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but okay, sure, let's, like, make it up as we go. Let's figure it out. Whatever it is, right? Like, very Neptune, very intuitive. Also, I was thinking with Neptune that they have a lot of fantasies, obviously, and I actually feel like they're more... Sometimes they feel like they're more experienced in their mind than they are in real life. Like, it's almost like they haven't gotten a lot of opportunity to do a lot. Maybe this person's really young, you know, or like pretty new to intimacy, or just in general has like a more youthful energy. But maybe they just haven't gotten a lot of opportunities to do a lot of the things that they want to do, but they're very open and very willing. Now, I also felt drawn to light this candle. Candle is called Focus. So I'm going to light that over here, which makes sense. It's interesting. We have 2 blue things here. So maybe there's a lot of throat chakra stuff. Like maybe they really like... Maybe they like some role playing, some conversations, sexy talk, all that stuff. Maybe they're really into that. Maybe they also care about having a more of a mental connection as well. Maybe they can fall in love with somebody's mind, which it's interesting because, let me light this. So, okay, I have a few things. So first of all, you know, it is Neptune, so this is Pisces, Sagittarius. So I was getting a little bit more of a mutable energy coming forward, but more like maybe some Virgo, but more like Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini. Gemini would make sense because there's also, I said, like the throat chakra was coming up, which is a lot about communication, which is very Gemini. Obviously, we have Pisces and Sagittarius. And I feel like the Virgo's coming up because they feel very inexperienced. And we all know, I think, Virgo Marses are prudes. So I think that they still feel inexperienced. Even if this person is older, I still feel as though maybe they feel like they've had a very vanilla life, like in that sense, and they're looking to explore more. And the focus is here because I think they get distracted. I think that they struggle. I wonder if this is somebody who hasn't experienced a lot in intimacy, or at least they feel that way because they struggle to focus on it. They struggle to put it first. Maybe they put other things in their life first, and then they leave, you know, intimacy on the back burner, and then they're like, wait, this is something I want. Oh my God, I forgot about it. Holy shit, hold on. Wait. Maybe this is even a person that has like spurts where there's like spurts where it's this is very mutable, right? Where they have spurts that it's like what they focus on and all they care about. And this is like all they want is intimacy and getting those needs met and getting those fantasies lived through. And then other times they just really don't care about it at all. And they're really focused on other things in their life. So maybe this focus candle is here because they need to have a little bit more of an even playing field when it comes to, it's kind of when it comes to intimacy. It's almost giving me like nymphomaniac, but not all the time, only in spurts, which is strange. Okay. So the card that we have here, this is from, this was like the signifier card for all of the piles. I drew for this deck. I have a few different, bedroom-based decks. And this is the Decameron Tarot. This is the raunchiest one that I have. This one's also kind of gross. Like, there's a lot of, like gross men kind of in it. That sounds so rude to say. But maybe I'll get a card where you'll see what I mean. But it's like, it's very true. Like, it's not me being, like, judgmental. I feel like that was kind of the point of it. So maybe this is also a little bit more of, like, I mean, it makes sense. A little bit more of, like, a raunchier pile. A little bit more of, like, maybe they like things that are kind of gross, kind of dirty. Maybe Neptune can escape from current situations. So maybe they, kind of disassociate from what the person looks like and are more interested in how it feels and the spiritual connection even. Like, does this person spiritually satisfy me rather than, very different to the first pile. The first pile was very different to this. The first pile was all like looks-based and like charm-based. This one, I think, is more like, do we fit each other's vibe? You know what I mean? Like, do we fit each other's vibe? If so, yes. If not, no. All right, we have interesting. We have the reverse card. Okay. We have the Star. Is that correct? Yeah, the Star. Whoa. This is one of the wildest ones I've ever seen. This deck is, I don't know, I think all the decks are a little bit classic, like I wish they were a little bit more raunchy and crazy. This one is probably the wildest image I've ever seen in a card ever in any tarot deck. So this person is wild. This person is incredibly experimental. I'm not getting any predator vibes from this pile at all. If anything, because it's Neptune, I feel like they miss so many chances that they should take. I know I haven't shown you the card yet. I'll show it to you in a second. But I just feel like they miss a lot more chances. If there's anything weird about them, I feel like sometimes they go for the wrong person. I feel like they really struggle to figure out who's right for them. And so if there's any weirdness to them, it's that they keep on liking people that will never like them back, or they keep on going for people that aren't as experimental as them, or they just keep on going for people that aren't compatible with them, or, so if there's any inappropriateness, it's like they keep on having crushes for people that they just really shouldn't have crushes for. I also feel like it goes both ways. I feel like people like them, the wrong people are like, they're attracting the wrong people as well. Like, also with Neptune, maybe they can be a little bit convinced. If anything, I think this pile is the opposite of a predator. I think this pile is more of the prey. I think this pile is more of like somebody that's susceptible to being talked into things, that's susceptible to doing things they don't want to do. This pile is so weird that I feel like they really like experimentation. So it makes me feel like they're more talked into things that they're more talked into like bland intimacy than anything else, which is strange to say. I think they can also be talked into like doing things with somebody that, like I said, they're not super into or attracted to, because almost like they're coming up with this fantasy of what it could be like. But I just don't think that the fantasies ever suit what's actually going on and the reality of it. They have some real mix matched like ideas of things. You know what I mean? Like they're really going for the wrong people on like so many levels. And if this is you need to check out what's in your 7th house and lock in, check out what's in your 9th house, lock in. Okay, so here's the card. Wow, that was a while leading up to it. Look at this. It's Fruity Pebbles. Like, she's literally Fruity Pebbles. Also, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, she's literally pissing into a bucket and this guy's leaning down. I can't tell if he looks very relaxed and very into it, and she's like smirking and excited. And my guess is that the next step is that she's gonna, you know, pour that into his mouth. Like this. Right? That's the next step. So this person is wild. This is definitely, in my opinion, the kinkiest pile. The pile that, like, if you're asking about this person and you're a very vanilla person, like, this is the person that pile 1 would go for that they should just not be going for. Pile 1 was very vanilla, by the way, very classic. You know, everybody has their own stuff, but, like, yeah, that's... Also, there is a vibe to me. Looking at it, I actually don't think this is true, but when I first looked at it, she kind of was looking like a satyr, if you know what that is. And what's interesting is I pulled a lighter. I grabbed a lighter to light the candle. I didn't have one. And I have a few of these zodiac lighters. I have Cancer, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aries. And the one that came out is Capricorn. Like, I just randomly grabbed it, and I was like, I grabbed this one for a reason. So we're getting some Capricorn energy. So there, and the reason why I said that is because, like, she kind of looks like she has like those dark goat legs, and for some reason I was getting like a very Capricorn vibe from her, which is interesting. Like, it's just, I can't believe this image exists. Like, this deck is so bland in comparison. Maybe this person doesn't give the vibe that they're weird at all. Like, maybe this is like a little bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, nothing creepy, but just like, well, maybe they're a little creepy. But more like, that could be, see this being somebody that wears, like, this is such an outdated reference, like Aeropostale tops and skinny jeans. You know, that's more of like my millennial being, what would be like nowadays? Like, they wear a Lululemon and they carry a Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if they kind of look like that a little bit, but there's like all this stuff going on beneath the surface, if that applies. But yeah, I haven't interpreted this card at all. Oh my God, I've been talking so much and I like have barely done anything. I've barely drawn any cards. I've been on this rant. We have the star reversed. So I feel like this person is very, very good in the bedroom if somebody would give them a chance. It's almost like, I think this person's kind of young or inexperienced, but it's like nobody's ever given them the chance to really shine and thrive in intimacy in the way that they know that they can. And there's a really special, very unique person or people out there for them, but they struggle to find these people or find this person. I think it's also interesting I said these people. I am getting a little bit, this person is definitely more open in their sexuality. I feel like there's a little bit more of a bi vibe going on, more of a swinger vibe, more of an experimental vibe. You know, it's Neptune, so they're more in love with the soul and the spirit than they really care what parts you have, even if the parts are mixed match. Like, this is the person, this is the pile that I think would go for the trans people, the trans person, and be comfortable with that. Be gay, be straight, go for a little bit of everything, maybe even be interested in somebody a lot older than them, or just a little bit more unconventional, you know, all that stuff. And I think they also have a lot of like classic fantasies too, you know, like falling for the teacher, falling for the boss, falling for this or that, or, you know, but it doesn't feel plutonic to me. That's the thing though. It doesn't feel plutonic. We have the star, we have Neptune, we have focus. It feels kind of like fun and childish almost. Like, hee hee, like, wouldn't this be weird? Like, wouldn't this be goofy? Wouldn't this be interesting? I wonder if something happened to them in childhood that like stunted them a little bit. Like, I wonder if there is like, maybe there's some, I'm getting so much just from nothing. It's interesting. That makes sense. This pile is very Neptune. I have all these cards that I want to draw from, all these things I wanted to do, but instead it's just like, maybe that's also something with them in the bedroom. They have all these things they want to do, right? But then they don't ever actually execute it and do it. The star reversed. Oh my God, wait, what was I saying? Oh, I wonder if there's a little bit of like something that happened in childhood that stunted them, like maybe some religious trauma, maybe some sexual trauma. Like I did say at the beginning that this person's more prey than predator. So I wonder if there was something that happened to them when they were younger, which has caused a little bit of some stunting, caused them to be more interested in the idea of intimacy than the actual act of it, because it kind of scares them. Why is this Capricorn coming through? Let's pull some cards. I feel very drawn to pull cards. So we have the Pulp Tarot. I feel like this is going to be a long one. I was trying to keep these a little shorter. I feel like I'm going to run out of space on my freaking camera. Okay. So we have past, present, future, faded. And then, past. I want to pull all of these cards right now, and then I want to talk about it. So in the past, we have the Two of Pentacles. Present. Future. And then what they're meant to be. Okay, it is another one of these. This person feels very stressed, which I wouldn't expect from Neptune. They're a lot more stressed. Maybe that's the Capricorn energy. I pulled out this. This is calming spray. Maybe they have a strong connection to lavender or ylang ylang. You know, even though this is like a really freaky pile, this is like the freakiest of freaks, there's something really soft about them. And there's something really sweet and intimate and childish. I almost want to cry. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, and it's confusing me that this Capricorn energy is coming through. Maybe you know what it is? The reason why this Capricorn energy is coming through is I was trying to think of the qualities of Capricorn, and I'm like, I don't know. You know, maybe sometimes they get more focused on like productivity than they do sex, and that's like the Neptune thing. They can like escape from the need for it more than most. But I think it's because it's going to take them a while to grow into themselves. I think that's what it is. It's the Capricorn late bloomer. It's like this person is really, really late to develop. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot with Capricorn Mars and maybe just Capricorn energy in general, Saturn, where there's delays in developing. There's delays in like finding that sexuality. There's some barriers, there's some restrictions. I really do think this person has some tough stuff in their past too, sexually, that goes into it. Okay, past. We have the Two of Pentacles. Indecisiveness. Very Neptune. This person, it took them a long time to figure out, and I think they're still figuring out what they want, why they want it, how they want it, and if that is what they want. And I think they go back and forth all the time. I think they think, should I be with this person? Should I not be with this person? Is this what I want? Is this not what I want? This person is very, very susceptible to being taken advantage of. You have to be very, very careful with them. You have to treat them a little bit more delicately, and you have to expect them to be a little bit more hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, coming in and out, in and out, in and out. It's like that Neptune thing. Here, and then I'm not. And then I'm here, and then I'm not. And I feel like they have this really strong earthy sensuality. We also have earth and water coming out. So maybe that's that, you know, that like into it, not, into it, not, into it, not, right? You know, where it's like that earthy, there's something to do with like, they get physically attracted by somebody, but then they get turned off by them emotionally. They get emotionally attracted by somebody, then they get physically turned off by them. This person is a mess. This person is all over the fucking place, especially in the past, especially in their past. They've been all over the fucking place. I even think this is very star reverse to me, where it's like every person that has been with them, it's just such a weird, sorry. I'm not trying to be judgmental. This isn't coming from a place of judgment. It's more coming from a place of like, the fuck is going on? This person, like, it's almost like if they do have any sexual experience, if you were to be in a group of people, like if you were to like get the group of people that they've been with together, if they've been with that many, you know, if they've been with multiple people, they would all share the experience with this person as being different, right? Like one person would be like, oh no, this person's super into this. And another person would be like, they're literally not at all. They're like this. And the other person would be like, no, they're like that. Like you don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. Nobody can really figure it out. it kind of just goes back and forth. I also think with the Two of Pentacles, it kind of confirms to me the bi vibe. Like, they'll try anything, anyone. They're very open, very interested. You know what it is? It's like they're so open, they allow anything to come in, right? Like, it's giving like Mars in Pisces, obviously. Mars in Libra. Mars in Gemini, maybe even, too. Well, I said the mutable energies. It's giving, let me think, anything else? Maybe even Mars in Sagittarius, too, where there's this, like, I'm really into it, then I'm not. I'm really into it, then I'm not. And if there's Mars in Virgo, I do think there is a little shame. You know, we do have Capricorn energy coming forward. Some shame around being this way. This person, I think, needs, like, some sex therapy. You know, like, I think this person has their own issues that they need to work out with themselves. I don't think that this person isn't necessarily a, like, menace to others, but they're, like, a menace to themselves. Like, you don't need to be worried about them if this is somebody else that you're asking about. They need to be worried about them. Because when you're so open, you'll let anything in, right? Presently, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. This came out reversed, but I'll show it to you upright. So, you know what's also interesting is, though, this girl is kind of in her power, though. She does have confidence. And then we have the Star, and we have Capricorn, so there is confidence coming forward. Okay, so, like, it's almost like they're so confident about not knowing what the fuck they are and what the fuck they want. I hope this resonates with someone. Like, I do feel like this is probably the least watched pile for whatever reason. I feel like this is the most, like, okay. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. This person wants to be somebody's muse. This person wants to be somebody's something. This person wants to, currently, they're really looking to take a relationship and work at it. You know, like, chip away at it. But probably a more intimate relationship is what they're talking about, right? What we're talking about. But there's this feeling of they haven't gotten satisfaction. Maybe this is somebody that has never came before in intimacy with somebody else. Maybe this is somebody who has never had a long-term serious relationship. Maybe this is somebody who hasn't been with enough people to really, like, learn what they want yet and learn who they are yet. I also feel like if they have invested time or energy into anybody or anyone, it has not worked out. And it has, you know, left them feeling unfulfilled. I just feel like, and I also feel like they're not putting much energy towards sex right now. I feel like this is not maybe their priority. Neptune. Maybe they feel wounded by it. Maybe this is somebody who was badly abused in childhood, and they are, like, still struggling to heal. Or maybe if it wasn't childhood, maybe they've been abused in a previous relationship and they're still healing from it. This is a very sensitive person right now, and just in general. And I think if you're asking about them, I think they have a really good heart, and I think they're a really good person, and they mean really well, but I think they're just going through something. And I think if you're looking to just, for, like, a quick fuck from them, and you're just, like, wanting to see if they're creepy or not, like, they're a little creepy in, like, a kind of a charming way. Like, they're kind of weird, and they're, like, you know, like, they're a little perverted, not in a gross way. It doesn't feel like anything, you know, we have Capricorn, so I do feel like it's nothing that's out of bounds. I mean, it's weird for some people. We have a girl, like, I mean, she's literally about to piss in a cup and pour it in this man's mouth. So it's a little creepy and weird, but it's not predatorial. But I just feel like if you're wanting to be with this person, and this is somebody you're asking about, like, you need to treat them with some kindness. And you need to treat them with a little bit more space than others. And you need to ask yourself if you're at that place and you're wanting to be that, like, what's the word? You're wanting to be that accommodating right now. If you are comfortable with that, and this is somebody that you're absolutely in love with, and you're like, I will take all the time in the world. I will heal. We will heal together. That's fine. But if you're like, oh, I was just going to fuck them on Friday, and I was wanting to see if they're going to like me, you know? They're not, but they're like, their head's spinning. So it's just like, maybe don't confuse them anymore. Does that make sense? Like, I just think they need some time. But but also, okay, there's a lot of blocked energy here. This makes me wonder if they'll ever get what they want. I feel bad. I feel bad for this pile. Okay, so in the future card, we have the Four of Cups reversed. See, like I said, lots of reversals. I feel like I'm the bearer of bad news right now. You know what it is? Maybe I'm not. This person's going to do that thing where they get the hair under their ass. Right now, they're not focused on this. But in the future, they're going to get a hair under their ass and they're going to be charging forward again. But the issue is it's like they're going to, again, take things that they don't want. Be with people they don't want to. Like, and not even do things that they don't want to, because I think this pile is so open and curious. But it's like, do things that they want to with people they don't want to do them with. This person, I think, has a really hard natal chart. Like, it's giving fixed grand cross, you know, mutable T-square. It's giving, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just giving, like, they are being pulled in so many directions and they cannot figure out which direction is theirs to take. And so I think they'll wind up flipping the script in the future and just going after everything, saying yes to everything, whereas right now it feels like they're really reserved and hesitant. I feel like I need a card. I feel like I need to grab something as like a piece of advice. If this is you watching this, or something that you could tell them, if this is somebody that you know and you love, or whatever it may be. Okay, we have 2. Okay, we have again, your kindness will lead to happiness. I feel like what that means is this person needs to learn that sometimes the kindest thing to do is to say no to things that they don't want. And sometimes the kindest, most charitable thing to do is to not lead somebody on. I do think this pile can lead someone on because they don't know what they want, right? And then also it says, you can only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. This person is at risk of never... This person is at risk of never receiving what they want in the bedroom. This is like this is like the pile of disappointment. You know, it's giving Mars opposite Saturn, I'll be real. It's giving Mars square Saturn. It's giving Mars conjunct Saturn. It's giving Sun square Saturn. It's giving Moon square Saturn. It's giving Saturn squares. Maybe that's why that Capricorn came up. It's giving Saturn squares, Saturn oppositions. I just feel like this person, the scariest thing that this person is at risk for is never getting sexual satisfaction, is never getting what they want in the bedroom. And in the Fated card, that's exactly what we have. We have the 7 of Cups reversed, where, like I said, there's all these things that they want, all these things that they'll try. I feel like if they met the right person, oh my God, this person would be like a jackpot of a person in the bedroom. Like, this person is very much able to fulfill all the sexual fantasies ever. But it's that they don't know how to operate though and get that. They don't know how to find the right people, get the right person, ask for it. Maybe they don't even know how to ask for what they want, right? It's giving a lot, like, pray, you know what I mean? So it's like when somebody finally asks for something, whether or not they want it, they're like, yep, yeah, sure, that's an opportunity, right? Very 7 of Cups reversed, but it's not the opportunities that they want necessarily. So I think they're fated to have a lot of just like discontentment in intimate encounters and not reaping what they want from intimate encounters. And there needs to be a little bit more of like a you only live once, go out and get it energy. I'm kind of a little cautious to say this to people, but I feel like this person needs to act on impulse more. And I feel like this person, if this is you, I feel like this person needs to like name what they want, go after it, be more outspoken. Like, I think maybe there's also like a fear of shame, being shamed, a fear of it, like, you know, Fruity Pebbles, a fear of it getting out and having everybody know. Because it's like, this is like a perverted person, but they're not like, they're so like sensitive, in my opinion, to people and their boundaries that they would never push those, but they go so far with not pushing boundaries that they never get what they want. You can only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Okay, let's get 2 more cards and then we are going to close up. I pulled out these decks for a reason. So we have the Lost Oracle. That makes sense. I actually, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that I pulled out this one for the Neptune. But yeah, we have the Lost Oracle. This person's so just, it makes sense that I wanted to light the focus candle, right? This person's so in their fucking head. And so lost and aimless and confused and unsure and, right? Jesus. This is the opposite of the advice that I feel like I should give. I feel like this is the opposite of like responsible parental advice. But I feel like this person needs to kiss a lot of frogs. And they need to just like make some more mistakes. I know that sounds crazy. Like, don't put yourself in an unsafe situation. But if this is somebody you're asking about, I think you need to kind of like prompt them a little bit and be like ask them those hard questions, like ask them really what they want, like be real with them, prompt them, because they need to try more. They learn from doing. They learn what they like from doing. They learn from their mistakes. They, you know, they don't know what they want until they've tried it, sort of energy. Okay, so we have the Green Man. So let's see what it says. It says, it's time to grow. The Green Man is a pagan symbol who encompasses the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. He is representative of divine masculinity and that active place where this combines with the omniscient presence of the divine feminine. So already we have some gender bending stuff, in my opinion, coming in here, which makes sense. I said that this pile feels more bi, more open, more like maybe even like likes communal stuff even potentially. Okay. The Green Man is born in spring and heralds the return of abundant crops and growth on the land. He is a guardian of the earth and a male energy that can be trusted to bring dynamic positive change and new nourishing opportunities of love. While there is an eeriness to his presence as he emerges from the darkness, be aware that his eyes glow with the light of the life-giving sun. This is like the vibe of this person, in my opinion. His darkness, it doesn't have to be a guy, but it might be, I don't know, anyways. His darkness is lush and fertile, and he teaches that the dark times in your life are essential for the cyclical balance to allow growth and abundance, and encourages observation of these natural cycles to soothe and calm an anxious heart and mind caught up in fears of lack and loss. It's been a great summary of what I've been saying. The Green Man says to open your heart to the blessings. The Green Man says to open your heart to the blessings he brings and embrace the lush vegetation of possibilities that are unfolding before you. Aww. His essence assures you that positive transformations are underway, and with trust and faith, you will experience a new season of growth, love, and bountiful opportunities. This card is a reminder that while you may have experienced pain and trauma at the hands of men, I even mentioned that, there are also positive and healing aspects of masculinity that can support and empower you. This person, I think, is afraid. Like, this person's scared of themselves and of other people. Like, they're scared of their interests and what they like, and then they're scared of being taken advantage of like they have before. Allow yourself to be open to these energies and embrace the opportunities for growth and renewal that are available to you now. Like Mother Earth, the Green Man also represents a deep connection to the earth, reminding you to spend time in nature and connect with the natural world around you. By doing so, you can ground yourself and find peace and clarity amid any chaos or uncertainty. The Green Man's message is a powerful one. He is a symbol of the reemergence of the sacred masculine presence whose balance shall be righted in the modern world, and a symbol of hope and renewal, especially during times when we may feel stuck or stagnant. By embracing the cycles of life and death, we can learn to trust in the process of dynamic change and transformation. I think this person is on the precipice of something, of finding themselves, of getting to where they want to be. And I know at first I said that there was some negative stuff, but I feel like if you're watching this reading and this is somebody that you're interested in, even if this is just a friend and you're not even interested in them, you know, intimately, it's almost like they need a therapist a little bit, like a sex therapist. I'm not trying to put that on you, but it's like, talk about this stuff with them more. Like, I don't know, be more open, share a story that you have with them. This is a person that's capable of growing out of this. But if they, you know, it's, you know, hanged man, Neptune. But if they don't, they'll be stuck in the same situation ever. Very Saturn, very Saturnian, right? If they don't work through this, if they don't find themselves, figure out what they want, try things, put themselves out there, especially, then they will never reach, I was going to say the precipice of what they're trying to find in the bedroom. I know that kind of sounds weird to say. But it is Neptune. So they have this is the pile where intimacy to them is not a means to an end. It's like a whole experience. It's a whole bonding, merging experience. And you know what? I think that they actually intimidate some people in the bedroom, even though they would never, ever, ever, ever think they do, because they feel intimidated by everyone else. But I feel like they intimidate people in the bedroom because they're capable of, like, this Neptunian, right? They're capable of this connection and this merging of souls, you know, kind of 8th housey, you know, merging of souls. It's very pure. And I just think they have a different outlook on intimacy than others. I think they see it as really, like, fun and enjoyable and experimental, but I think that they also know, but I think they're actually a lot more connected to it than others. Even though they escape from it all the time, it's because they have to escape, because they're so much more attached to it than other people are. There's so much more in their body. There's so much more in their feelings and the vibes of it all. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot of a pile. This is a really long reading. Holy shit. I really need to make sure that the other ones are not this long, because this is going to be a 7-hour video. And at one point it will get dark and I'll be screwed. And that's exactly like this energy. Like, this person, like, maybe if this person is like, this person, like, time will run out on you or on this person if you don't, like, get it together, figure it out, and do your own work and go to a sex therapist and, like, I don't know, all that shit or something like that. Okay, last card. This is from the Abandoned Oracle. This is going to close it up. Oh, I forgot to pull out the thing. I forgot to grab it, so I don't need it. Envy reversed. This person has a very weird relationship with envy. This is a very strange kind of note to end on. This person is not necessarily envious of others, because what they want in love and intimacy is not like what other people want. But what they're envious of is that what other people want in love and intimacy is accessible to them. Like, to compare them to pile 1, just because that's the only other pile I've done, I think they would be envious of pile 1, not because they want what that person has. They actually don't want what that person has, and they don't want the same experiences as them. But they're jealous that that person is kind of vanilla or classic enough that people also want what they want. And people like who they are and like what they like, and, like, just it's like that accessibility. They feel, I think they're delusional, this is not true, but they feel like what they want in intimacy is inaccessible and they will never get it. And so they're jealous that other people have these more conventional, classic wants in the bedroom, and they're jealous that they're almost like envious that they want more. They're envious of the people who don't want more and are satisfied with classic experiences. Interesting. Weird pile. I'm just gonna be honest. I really feel like this relates. I'm like, does this relate to anyone? I don't know. Is this true for anyone? I don't know. This is a really interesting energy. I kind of wonder if the other ones will be too. I don't know. It's kind of fun. All right. Well, yeah. So basically, in summary, if you're worried about this person, like, from your perspective, you don't have to be worried about them. They need to be worried about themselves. Like, this person is very Neptune, right? They're more of a harm and a danger to themselves than they are other people. So just try not to hurt them. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of more of that vibe. Like, very sensitive, you know? It's like, oh, okay, grow up, you know, a little bit. I don't even think they're sensitive in the bedroom though. It's not like they're like, oh, don't tell me that mean thing, da 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 da, but they're like touchy, you know, like on a moment's notice, they'll like peace out, right? Anyways, okay, I can keep going and going and going, but this reading is already 2 times the length that I meant for it to be. Thank you so much for watching Pile 2. Again, I sell full-length tarot readings and astrology readings on my website, shainaemily.com. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it resonated in some way. Okay, and I meant to be more vulgar with these, but this is the pile that likes, like when I'm saying experimental, I mean like they like weird shit like this. Like weird, gross, dirty, like multiple people, parties, all of this like just, it's almost like they like that weird like celebrity, like they don't like the celebrity stuff that comes with it, but you know how you hear about like celebrity, like, you know, bedroom parties? Like they're into like just very weird, very performative, very experimental, very exhibitionist, very, just weird concoctions. I don't know. Now I'm all embarrassed because I'm like, okay, I'm going to move on. Thank you so much for watching Pile 2. All right. Bye. Whew. Okay. Off the rip, I'm getting very weird vibes from this pile. I feel like, really weird vibes. Really weird vibes. I mean, yeah, it's Uranus, but I thought it was going to be more playful than that, actually. Maybe this, oh, wow, okay. Maybe this person, maybe this person seems like they'd be very playful, but it seems like, you know, because it's Uranus, but there's, I don't know. I don't like this energy. It's like making me feel like I need to fix myself. Like, I need to like cleanse myself after it or something. There's some weird shit going on with this person. Like, I don't know if we'll see. I mean, this might be a vibe of a little bit of a predator. I don't know if it's as like literal as that, but there's something going on that's strange. I don't think it's like the classic predator that we know that's like going to take you in the back alley. It's not like that. It's not. That'd almost be easier to avoid, is the message I'm getting. This is trickier. I'm seeing like there's like a scary clown vibe coming in. There's this mask coming forward where there's like, and I'm all fidgety and I'm all nervous, where it's like there's one face and there's the other face. There's like 2 or 3 distinct faces with this person. And they're very deceptive and they're very cunning, which is strange. I'm not expecting this from Uranus. This isn't, like maybe this person makes you nervous and you are like, no, I really need to check in kind of vibe. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm concerned. I'm actually kind of hoping that that most of the people watching this, it's for somebody else. I hope this isn't you. I know that's like weird to say, but it's like, I don't know about this. And this is you. Like, you need to check yourself. I don't know what that means, but I'm getting such weird vibes. Like, what I was saying is, you know, between every reading, I kind of try to like check in and see what the vibes are, see what I'm thinking. Like, I had to go to the bathroom, set everything up. And I was just instantly a little bit weirded out. And I was like, this is one of those piles where there's some potential for some weird stuff going on. But let's see what it is. So we have the Amor et Psyche deck. I know I sound goofy saying it. Whatever. This person feels judgmental. This doesn't give me Uranus vibes at all. What's going on? I almost feel like this is strange. Like, I almost feel like this Uranus is here not because it's actual Uranus energy, but because it's just coming out of left field, which I guess is Uranus. But when I think Uranus, I think of kind of like fun, lighthearted, chaotic. I thought this pile was going to be a little bit more like playful, but this shit does not feel playful at all. This shit feels loaded. It feels like it's unexpected from this person. Like, this is a literal sheep in wolf's clothing. Sheep in wolf's clothing. Isn't it usually a wolf in sheep's clothing? That was a Freudian slip. I said a sheep in wolf's clothing. That gives me predator vibes. That makes me feel like it's somebody that would do something to somebody that It's giving me vibes that this is somebody that goes after somebody that is less powerful. No, they go after somebody. There's a power thing. There's like a weird power imbalance where they act like they're somebody with a lot of power. They wear this wolf clothing. They wear these scary outfits, this intimidating vibe. But in reality, they are scared. They are scared of themselves. They are scared of intimacy. They are scared. But when somebody is scared, that can be the worst because they'll act in ways that they don't understand how they're acting because it's coming from fear and protecting themselves. But this is so strange, but it winds up being detrimental to the other person. It's like if you were to ask this person if they're predator or prey, they'd be like, what are you fucking even talking about? They'd be like, I don't even know what that means. And there's like this weird thing where it's like maybe they want to come across as a predator, but really they're very vulnerable. And so they try to put on this image that they're like harder, meaner, cooler than they are. But in reality, they're a little wimpy pussy ass bitch. But that's the scariest part of it. Like it's insecurity. All right, let's get into this. Seeking pleasure. 14. I mean, that makes sense. I already don't like this energy, and I already want to move on to the next pile. I think if you're going on a date with this person, I'm almost like, just don't. Because it's like it's not even worth it. Okay, seeking pleasure, indulge and savor. Seeing love, the love story. It was a torrid love affair between him and her and him, her. Just the three of them, and it was time to explore. Need we say more? Ah, the beauty and ecstasy they found by allowing their passions to abound and explode in a current of euphoria. Pleasure is the principle, and on that fateful night, love was found in some queer places indeed. This person's DL. That's what I think it is. And I figured that this would be a gay pile with Uranus, but I think it's actually a lot more complicated than that. Making love. Action. Do something for yourself today. Try to break away from the part of your conscious mind that says no, no, or places judgment on whoa. Yeah. Do something. That's creepy. Do something for yourself today. Try to break away from that part of your conscious mind that says no, no, or places judgment on what otherwise would come naturally to you. Go deeper into your pursuit of pleasure. You deserve to be happy. Now show it. So this is somebody that's deeply in denial of their true wants and their true desires. I feel bad. If this is you, I'm kind of coming around to being a little bit more like, loving and understanding. I think you're just really, really, really out of line with your true desires. And I think you are going for people that you're not actually interested in. I'm already getting like a really, really vivid picture of this. And it makes sense now why I chose this candle. I did not understand. This person doesn't want me to know why I chose the candle. Of course they don't. I'll tell you in a second. You deserve to be happy, now show it. Being love, meditation. Embrace pleasure as an expression of the beauty of the body. Allow love to take hold and guide you to ever higher levels of bliss and excitement. This is giving like Moon Mars, some hard Moon Mars stuff. Maybe if it's not in their natal chart, maybe it's in there. And Sun Mars too. If it's not in their natal chart, it might be in their progress chart, or it might be in some other situation or between the synastry of you guys. But it's giving some bad Moon Mars, which basically means like their desires are not in line with their true wants. Or what they go after is not in line with their true desires. Something like that. They say that allow love to take hold and guide you to ever higher levels of bliss and excitement. Proclaiming love. Affirmation. I accept and indulge in pleasure. I am loved. You know what? It is Uranus. Because this person has a fear of sex. This person has a fear of intimacy. But they come across as though they are, Mr., Mrs., whatever it is, I don't know what the gender neutral version of that is. But, Mr., Mrs. Hotshot, Mr., Mrs., shoulder in the armpits, like, yeah, I talk a big game, I know what I want, I'm looking for it, oh yeah, like they give that vibe. But in reality, they're very afraid of, they're very, 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 oh, I shouldn't have said that. I meant to say intimacy. Whatever, I feel like it's late enough in the video. They're very afraid of intimacy. They're very afraid of connection. They're very fearful of what their true wants and desires are in the bedroom. And so that's where that Uranus comes in, to where they're disconnected. If something could come out where, like, if these could be reversed, this one would be. And I did comment on how this one was very chaotic and it spilled everywhere and it was all a mess. What happens, like, what makes things spill? It's when it's upside down, you know, and when it's like being shaken, you know, does that make sense? So it's like, this is not in its, this is very unstable energy. This is not that like cutesy fun side of Uranus. This is when your Uranus is very much a malefic. Now, I'm going to light this candle. This is morning coffee. So this makes me think of somebody that is just, I'm just going to say what I'm feeling. This is somebody, and we have Aries. This is somebody, a lot of things. So this is somebody that wants a quick fix, that doesn't want to get too deep in love. They just want to, you know, I was thinking morning coffee and I was like, this is why it's coming to me. It's somebody that like wakes up and is very has a horn. I'll say that. I was like, going to say the word, but I'm like trying to be careful. They have a horn. And you know what? That goes in multiple ways, right? You know, blankets can arise and make a horn. This smells so good. They really, really like temptation. They like the temptation. When they wake up, they're really, really, really into it. That's all they think of when they wake up is intimacy, but in a very vulgar way. Intimacy as I want to call it just the word it is, because it doesn't even deserve intimacy. It is a means to an end. And I was thinking morning coffee because they wake up, they jerk it, they handle themselves, and it's very disconnected. It's very almost like it's like methodical, like it's part of their morning routine, right? It's like their morning coffee. They jerk it, they do that because they want to satisfy that need and move on. They don't want to dwell and sit in this energy for long. They're like afraid of themselves in intimacy. They fear it. And I think that they like to just get it over and done with in the morning so that the rest of their day, they don't have to be distracted by it. And they don't have to be thinking about it and worried about it. So they just want to do it and get it over with. Maybe this is somebody that if you're in a relationship with them, when they wake up, they want to do the deed really fast and then they're like never seem interested throughout the rest of the day. Also Aries, that's why I pulled out the Aries lighter for this one. I have a few others. So there is this very selfish energy to them, this very selfish lover energy. And I think that it's because they can't go deeper into themselves and what they want. So how could they ever do that with another person? So the quick fix thing, yeah, it's like a quick fix. I think they see intimacy as like an illness that needs to be cured. I do think this is like a very DL pile, right? They see their gayness as an illness that needs to be cured, right? Maybe you know that they're DL, right? And you struggle to connect with them intimately, even though you really love them. And if they're not, if they aren't DL, even though I really think this is the, not accepting their sexuality pile. Maybe they're bi, whatever. Maybe they like trans people. Maybe they're trans and they're struggling to accept it. Something along those lines. This is the pile that they're struggling with their own identity. And they don't handle that maturely. They don't handle it well. This isn't somebody, like I said with the second pile, I was like, they're more of a problem to themselves than anyone else. Like their issues, they fall on them. This person's issues, they project them outward and they cause chaos outward when the chaos is really happening with them. Now I'm feeling like I'm not afraid of this person in the way that there's a predator vibe to them. But it's because they're so afraid of themselves. Okay, so seeking pleasure. So there's obviously some kind of love triangle involved. And this is at the core. We have the core, and then what is it we have here? Without wheel, within woe. I don't know what W-E-A-L means. I'll figure that out when we get there. I'm using one of these things. And I've done this before, but I had just done it for the first time with the pile before. So this person has experimented with their themselves, whether that be that they're trans and they've, worn dresses before, but then they got scared and stopped, whether they're DL and they've experienced with that or they've stopped, or maybe they're straight, but they just are very, very, very experimental in the bedroom in a way that that they know their friends wouldn't be comfortable with and that they're not comfortable with. Maybe they like gender role play, gender switching, but they don't want to admit it. Maybe they like threesomes, but they don't want to admit it. This person is, what do they even want and what do they even want? I think that they want to be wanted. And they like it when they're wanted, but they don't want you. That's like their power and that's their comfort zone, and they know how to handle and manipulate that situation. So whenever, it's just so DL to me, like I can't see anything else, right? Like when they're actually like, you know what I mean? Like they get power from, let's say they're a girl and they really want to be with other girls, but they religiously feel like they can't. They like it when a guy really, really wants them and they don't want them because then they hold all the power. This is a really irresponsible person with their love and intimacy. And they don't understand. They're trying so hard to not hurt themselves that they're hurting everybody else around them. It's really not good. And I feel like they get scared when they like the person because then that person has power over them. So they are more, maybe they're comfortable being DL because they would rather just satisfy what they want when they need to. Maybe this person has a corn addiction or some issues with that. I almost don't even think that they actually even care that much about corn. It is, again, just a means to an end. It is something, and maybe they use corn to make it seem as though they're straighter or even gayer than they are, maybe. I don't know, something like that. And there's some love triangle involved because they like to be with the person. It's giving moon opposite Venus, moon square Venus too. They want to be with the person. They have the person that they're with, and then they have the person that they want. And they like that dynamic. They like withholding for some reason. This is not good energy. I don't trust this energy. This is at their core. This is who they are. This is their comfort zone, is being with somebody that wants them and lusting after somebody else. But I don't even think they're that lusty. What is with them? Okay, let's move on to some cards. So we have, this is Tarot of a Moon Garden. I really love this deck though. I'm a little offended that I picked this deck for this pile. It's giving very Alice in Wonderland. It's giving very fantasy-y. But I just don't feel like this. I feel like this person has a lot of fantasies, but I don't think that this person actually wants to live out their fantasies. They want to keep them fantasies. Like pile 2 had all these fantasies, but they wanted to live them out. And they wanted to like experience them. This pile likes keeping the idea. This pile is weird without 5 of Wands. They do not like Mars. Like whatever that means. Like 5 of Wands. Like they do not like arguments. They do not like friction. This person just feels like a DL gay man. I don't know. This person does not. This person wants peace. This person wants harmony. This person does not like, like playful, like this person is not really interested in like playful bondage. This person is not really interested in like playful arguing or even like makeup because you were arguing. Like this person does not like it when they get into any friction with their partner. It's like a really, really big turnoff to them. This person is just really, really sensitive and really, really, really touchy. And it's like, I'm getting such a strong sexual energy from them, but in the realm of anything other than sex. All right, I said the word, so whatever. If this person were to be open about their sexuality, and if their sexuality was normal, they would be considered the most vanilla person in the world. But it's almost like they feel like what they like is so wrong that they lean into this other stuff they don't like because they're so used to it. I'm almost feeling like this person is more asexual or aromantic than anything, but they will not accept it. Why? Here's why. I don't know what wheel means, but it's why. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. This is why they will not accept their true nature in sex. It has something to do with their job and their coworkers. Like it's giving very much, I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's giving like a blue collar worker that's like very like, this should be more generalized, but this is kind of specific. But I'm just gonna paint this picture. It's giving blue collar worker that, like gets up at the crack of dawn, jerks it, says, love you, wife, goes to work, is very, very, very DL, but they could never tell that to the people they work with and their community because their community is so staunchly against it. It's giving Christian, it's giving Republican, it's giving blue collar worker. Even if they're a Democratic blue collar worker and they're very liberal, they still don't feel comfortable enough to share this with their friends. And they don't want to be with their friends though. They're afraid that if they tell their friends they're gay, that they'll think that they want to be with them. But that's not their type. Their type is something very, very different. Because I think this is so specific. I'm kind of worried about how specific it is. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm just going to say it. They're worried because they don't want to tell their friends or their coworkers or their community that they have these other interests. Trans stuff is really coming up too, in my mind. Like maybe if this is like a DL guy, they're interested in trans females. So they're not interested in like a bear. They're not interested because they're that type of a person more. Or even if they don't look like that type of person, they're that energy more. If this is a girl, maybe they're super duper femme and they really like presenting femme and they feel like, their friends would never believe them. Or maybe they're like a dancer and they're like very femme presenting but they're DL and they don't want to tell their friends that they're gay because their friends would then not want to change in the changing room in front of them. Like they think that, but that's actually not who they're interested in. They're really interested in like a total stud, as an example. If they're a guy, they're interested in like a trans girl. You know what I mean? And so they don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. But what they don't understand is that they're making their partner feel uncomfortable. They're making their previous partners feel uncomfortable. They're actually also making their family uncomfortable because their family knows that there's a lot. They've had like weird relationship endings that haven't had much explanation. And they don't understand the people, like their family doesn't understand the people that they go for. And that stresses them out too. They're like, I am going for these people because I think that this person has issues. They're like, I'm going for these people because I think that my family will approve of them. But even their family still doesn't approve of them for some reason. And it's like, who do you want me to be with? Tell me who you want me to be with. And I'll just wear that person as a beard, gender neutral. They're just fucking up all over the place. They're kind of a mess. I don't know about this person. Yeah. All right, within. So this is if they were to be honest with themselves and their true nature and their true desires, this is who and what they would actually be with and actually want. Six of Pentacles. It makes me think of giving. Six of Pentacles, what do they really want? Oh my God, I'm struggling. They want it to be self-fulfilling. They want it to be I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually stumped here. What would the Six of Pentacles, what does it really want? You're probably like, this is what it is in your head. Hello, honey. Maybe they want... A child in the garden is entranced in sacred place. She is offered a portion of her treasure to the three, the triune of the goddess, maiden, mother, crone. Three she keeps, and of these we will see. The secret bequeather accepts a beneficent gift, a benefic gift. In the magic of sharing in spirit or of matter, we open the door to receive. Oh, in a more temporal sense, this card may indicate the authorization of a loan. Oh, cash awards or the possibility of lottery winnings. This person wants to be the prize. This person wants to be spoiled. Weird. This is the best I got, guys. I could be wrong. This person wants to be, like, this person wants, like, a sugar daddy. What the fuck? This is so strange. This is very, like, left field for me. I didn't think we were going with this. Yeah, this person wants to be taken care of. Is it not giving, like, a DL man? Like, a DL provider man that doesn't want to be in that role? They want to be, like, a kept woman. This person feels like in whatever situation they're in that they always have to be the giver. And they're tired of giving, they want to receive. But something makes me feel like that if they were to be given something, they wouldn't know how to maturely take it and own it and give it back in return. Like, I always kind of do feel like the Six of Pentacles is one-sided. I know that people don't like to interpret it that way, but in my experience, whenever I've pulled the card, it's always been very one-sided, where one person's giving, and the other's receiving. So I think that they just want to receive. They want to be given. They want. So they don't want to be this. If they're a guy, they don't want to be a top. And if they're a girl, they don't want to be a top either. No matter who it is, they don't want to be a top. They're bottom. They're full bottom. That's why they don't like arguments. This person is actually very submissive. I almost wonder if this person likes being a little degraded. I think they really, really like being with somebody that's very dominant. But it's interesting because they said that they don't like arguments, but then they go for people that are very dominant and very argumentative because they like the energy. But then they can't admit that they want that in the bedroom. If this person could choose, they would never be a top in their entire life. They'd always be a bottom. And they would just receive. They would be a kept woman, you know, gender neutral. They would just be given the pleasures. I'm missing something. I need to draw one more card. There's something else. This person gets upset when they have to give in love and relationships. They get bitter and they take it out on the other person because they feel as though they're the prize and they should just be receiving. What a weird ride we're on. Is that just me? This is The Secret Arcana by Oliver Hibbert, and this is the Serpent. You got the Serpent, well, this person or you got the Serpent reversed. It makes me feel like this person has wounded themselves so much from the actions that they've taken, denying their true self, that they're on this endless repeating loop and cycle of continuously not getting what they want, but taking the person dry. Oh, that was a weird way to say it. That made me think like maybe this person is into like backdoor stuff and they have no respect when they do it to another person because they're upset that they're not doing it to them. And so they have this entitlement that the other person should just be thankful for whatever that they do to the other person, because they don't even really want to be doing it in the first place. They're just doing it for looks and appearances, and they feel like they're just doing it to make the other person happy, but it's not even making the other person happy because they're so detached, and it's not what they want either. And I'm sure most people, not everyone, but I'm sure most people can feel that. I don't like this pile. Sorry, I'm talking, but it's because I have to press record again. But it's not like I don't like this pile because I don't like gay people. Obviously, I love gay people. And it's not like, I don't like this pile because they're DL. Like, we all have issues, we all have circumstances, and I have empathy and sympathy for them because I know the society that we live in, right? But I just feel like the way they go about this is so fucking irresponsible. It's so fucking rude, and it makes it 1,000 times worse because they can't just refrain, right? They have to have it every morning. But what they have every morning isn't even what they want. I think this is a person that translates into being like a heartbreaker. They're seeking pleasure, but they like seeking it. They don't necessarily like getting it. Because when they get it, it's never pleasurable to them because it's not what they want. This is the first card in the deck. The end of a beginning. The end of a beginning. This pile is stumping me. The end of a beginning. Every time that they get invested in somebody new, they think that this time it's going to be different. But they get stuck in the same cycle with themselves, and they do the same patterns, and they repeat the same things, that it always winds up the same. That before something's even started, it's already come to an end because they're doing the same pattern and same formula and expecting something different. And they blame it on the other person when they know in their heart of hearts it's their fault, but they still find a way to blame it to the other person. Whoa. Okay, we have the Outlaw Oracle was drawn. This person should be single, actually, for some time. This person needs to, do some soul searching, go on a retreat, accept themselves, find themselves. This is more work than you could ever do. I feel like this person's true nature is not being predatory at all. And I feel like their true nature is actually something really beautiful and fun and exciting and enjoyable and maybe a little exhibitionist and maybe a little bit like, I don't know, it feels like fun and lighthearted. But they're never going to get there because they aren't being truthful with themselves. They aren't being truthful. If this is a guy they wanted in the butt and they're not being truthful about it. And if this is a girl, maybe they want to be a top. And they don't know what to do with the fact that they have to be a bottom or something. Maybe that's something. You know what I mean? Whoa. So this is the outcome. This is the outcome of all of this. This will be the last card I pull. We have Desert Rose. And it says, rare strength, unlikely bloom. They'll finally wind up meeting somebody that they can't... I want to cry. I didn't expect to end like this, actually. I'm feeling for this person randomly at the end. Even though I've kind of hated them this whole time. Sorry if this is you. I don't matter. It doesn't matter what I think of you. I feel like this person is going to meet somebody that is aligned with their true sexuality, that they're not going to be able to deny their feelings for, and that will allow them to grow and will allow them to bloom in the way that they're supposed to. And they'll actually find that they're a lot more intimate and a lot more emotional in intimacy than they ever thought that they were. Because they've never been with somebody that they actually desire. If you're with this person right now, I feel like I need to tell you that they don't desire you. And it's nothing wrong with you. It's because they never did in the first place. I think that they like you as a person, and I think that they think that they wish that they could find you attractive. And they see why other people find you attractive, and that's why they picked you. But the reality of the fact is that they don't understand the attraction that everybody else sees. And so they're with you to try to understand it. And they think that the longer they're with you, the more they'll get it. But in reality, this is just causing arguments and frustration, which is making them step away more and go back into the same cycles they've done before. They've done this before with somebody else. And if you're their first relationship, they're going to do this again. It's nothing that has to do with you. I mean, maybe you're a different pile, and, we'll look into that and end the point. But, okay, let's read this. Beauty in the dust. Let's see what this says. Despite the odds, I permit myself to bloom fully. I appreciate the fragile yet brave beauty of life. Fertility, love, and bloom, opening up, sharing what would otherwise be hidden by your environment. Taking chances despite the odds. Bloom, baby, bloom. The desert rose is a rare, unlikely bloom, providing beauty in the gray dust of the desert. They always have seen themselves as a very conventional person. And so the thought of them being this Uranus, right? This Uranus is something that they never, ever in a billion years would have associated with them in themselves. And so it's like they've always been the person that's like, oh, other people are weird and I'll accept them, but that's not me. And so the idea that that's them is like too hard for them to look at right now. The desert rose is a rare, unlikely bloom, providing beauty in the gray dust of the desert. It reminds us to embrace all of life's possibilities and potential. Despite its parched surroundings, it bursts forth and sings. Its strength to bloom in a harsh environment reminds us to stand our ground, protect ourselves as needed, and remember that we may not have a choice where we find ourselves planted, but with bravery and determination, we can always choose to bloom. Roses are often used as metaphors in songs and poetry, reminding us of the beauty and fragility of love. With open hearts, love can bloom like a rose, but it is also vulnerable to being picked or neglected. That's their biggest fear. Their biggest fear is somebody doing to them what they've done to somebody else, which is so fucked up and should be point blank right there, the realization as to why they shouldn't be doing it. My camera died, but I'll talk to you. But is also vulnerable to being picked or neglected, which is why it has its own thorns and deep roots as protection against the elements. If this rose isn't speaking directly to you, perhaps it's about someone around you. It's essential to appreciate a rose's beauty without wanting to possess it fully. Yeah, they just pick the hottest person in the room. Not that they necessarily want the hottest person in the room, like they don't necessarily like them, but just because if they find the hottest person in the room, then that's the best beard you could ever find. And then that also proves to themselves that they're not what they think they are, that they're not, gay if they're gay or whatever it is, whatever they are. You know what I mean? The moment you pluck it from its bed, it begins to wither and die. It is enough to acknowledge its beauty without needing to keep it for yourself. So you can acknowledge that other people, and you can acknowledge that, but you don't have to take it for yourself if you're this person. In her song, Love is a Rose, Linda Ronstadt sang, love is a rose, but you better not pick it. Only grows when it's on the vine. I feel like flower symbology is really important to this person for whatever reason. Love is a rose, but you better not pick it. Only grows when it's on the vine. Handful of thorns and you'll know you've missed it. Lose your love when you say the word mine. This person, I think, is actually also comfortable being DL. I'm just going to go with the fact that they are in some way. Even if DL means that they're trans and they're going after the sexuality they are, but they don't want to admit that they're trans, I'm still meaning that. You know what I mean? I'm meaning whatever it is that they're being DL about, that they're not being honest about. They feel comfortable doing that because they know that once, I do feel like this person's Christian or Catholic or religious. It's that feeling of when they go after what they want, it's not as interesting anymore because now they're allowed to do it. And they like the fact that they're not allowed to. They get off on the fact that they're not allowed to. This person is not actually really a sexual person, almost at all. They just have some kind of, it's giving somebody that's a Scorpio rising, or, somebody that's a Venus in Scorpio, or would be another placement that would be even maybe Pluto in the 8th house, even though I do think that can lean more sexual naturally. Somebody that maybe like midheaven in Scorpio, right? Scorpio planet on the 10th house, Scorpio planet in the first house. What else would be, Mars in the first house, Mars in the 10th house. This is somebody that is very, I'm trying to think, Pluto in the first house, Pluto in the 10th house. This is somebody that's always been naturally sexualized, and they like that. But the reality of the fact is that this person is not sexual. It's like that combination that I've always spoken about of Venus and Scorpio, Mars and Virgo. People love to bring up this combination and say, this was from a while ago, but I used to always get this comment of like, but I have Venus and Scorpio and I'm a Mars and Virgo, so that means I'm super sexual. No, it literally doesn't. It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of like an arbitrary example, but you have to look to that person's Mars to see if they actually are a sexual person. This person puts on a front of being very sexual, very alluring, very like, oof. And they could be, but that's not actually them, right? They're just putting that on in hopes nobody questions them. And they purposefully try to look more masculine if they're a man or more feminine if they're a girl. They purposefully put it on to present in a way that's more comfortable for them. This person has so many more issues. This is a really long one. I did not mean for this one to be this long as well. There's a lot more stuff to go into, but I am going to close it up here. I mean, my camera died. Definitely need to close it up here. It's getting dark and I still have 2 more piles. Oh, you know what? My dog kind of came up to me. Maybe this person needs just some pure love. Love from an animal, love from their family. Love that is not connected to sex. Maybe they connect sex and love together, and they need to disconnect those 2 things so that they can find themselves and have love without sex, because they think those 2 things are together. Maybe what they really want is love, but they know that in getting love, you have to include sex, and that's something that they really struggle with. Okay, I can keep going forever, but like I said, I'm going to just close up right there. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best if this is you. You have some deep, deep soul searching to do, in my opinion. You might even need to kind of run away and start a new life to be able to, not that you have to do that, but it's just like to be able to kind of start over and be honest with yourself and stop hurting people. This is more of a predator pile, but it's not, but it's coming from a different place than just being like, it's not like that. This person's so unsexual that they become a predator to try to seem sexual. Does that make sense? Yeah, I can keep going. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I sell full-length tarot readings on my website, shainaemily.com. I also have full-length astrology readings, a bunch of other stuff. Check out all my links down below. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best if you're this person. And if you're dealing with this person, I would advise you to kind of just step away for a second, because they need to figure out themselves, no matter who you are within the love triangle of the person that they're with and the person they desire. It's not good for any of you guys involved. All right, this is really interesting reading. I wonder if it resonated with anybody. You can let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best moving forward. Bye. All right, hello, welcome pile 4. My dog's right here in case you're wondering what's going on. But anyways, welcome pile 4. So you picked the Jupiter essential oil right here. And let me tell you, I have to like prepare myself. This is definitely it's like the reading we've all been waiting for, right? This is the one that's going to be the most vulgar and explicit and yeah, just extreme in that way. This pile goes big or goes home for sure. We have Jupiter coming forward here, and then we also, I didn't even realize this, but I also have the Sagittarius lighter. So okay. So lots of really, really just excitable energy. Lots of big, maybe this, okay, I'm like, I know what I want to say, but I'm like, should I be that explicit? Maybe I'll beat myself out. I think I'm just going to say what I want to say. And then when I'm in editing, I'll beep out what I feel like I should or won't. So we have Sagittarius coming forward in a lot of ways. And I feel like it's just very, very Jupiterian, like overindulgent, very excitable, right? This is somebody who I think has been very, very from a very, very young age. I would guess that this pile probably lost their virginity earlier than most of the other piles. And I would also guess that if this is a girl, she's probably, if this is a girl, also I was gonna say this is the most heteronormative pile, I feel. I feel like this is very much like if you're a guy, you like girls. If you're a girl, you're like guys. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few gay people around, but they're probably very like set to gay and not really, and even if they're gay, they're probably still into weirdly traditional, more traditional gender roles where one's a top, one's a bottom, one's a femme, one's a stud. You know what I mean? And they kind of take that role on. But I really think that this is more of a pile of guys that like girls, girls that like guys. They like the traditional heteronormative roles, and they actually are very happy with the role that they play in this, right? Like if this is a girl, she likes being a girl, and she likes playing the girl, like one that's getting chased, and the more maybe sometimes submissive one, the tease, right? If this is a guy, he likes being the chaser, he likes being the one on top, he likes being dominant, right? All that stuff. It seems very classic, and it seems like just, this is definitely more of the nymphomaniac pile for sure. Like I'm not trying to diagnose you with anything, but definitely this leans on the extreme side of sexual activity. Oh, I didn't finish actually my sentence earlier. If this is a girl, curvy, big boobs, big kadunks, I don't know, big ass. If this is a guy, big dick, big member, okay? Like this is large and in charge, right? Like no matter what, there's a lot to handle here, no matter what gender we are going with. Okay, so let's look at the card here. This makes so much sense that this is the deck this pile's pulled from. That makes all the sense in the world. This is totally the vibe. It's a very like erotica classic kind of vibe, Greek, and like I was thinking Zeus. Like I was thinking of Zeus, where this is a person that wants many partners. They really want a lot of sexual pleasure. This is not a pile that feels predatory because of the fact that they always get what they want anyways. Like they've never really had to worry about it. In fact, it kind of falls into their lap and just like comes to them, like literally comes on them like everything and anything. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, let's pull the card here. A beautiful face. Okay, so this is classic shallow person. They care about the looks of the other person. Even if their aesthetic is maybe a little bit alternative or a little bit different than the classic, you know, look, this is somebody that likes the classic look that their aesthetic likes. Does that make sense? Like, if this is a football guy, he likes the cheerleader girl. If this is a goth girl, she likes the metalhead guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like the classic look, the classic aesthetic. They like, this person likes to look one-on-one with the other person. And I actually do think that this person combines love and sex really heavily. And it's not that they cut, and it's Venus and Mars that they combine. This is not Moon Mars. They do not combine emotions with things, but they combine the Venus and the Mars together, where they like to have that romance. They like to have the whole 9 yards. Like this is giving kind of Venus and Libra to me. I'm not saying this is their placement, but I'm saying like it gives me the vibe of like they like the whole courting situation, whatever role that they do, right? Like they like to get dressed up. They like to look good. They like to look nice. They like to take you out to a cool place. They want you to look nice. They want to have a whole event. They, you know, the longer the date lasts, the better. You know, the more of a story to tell, the better. The faster they get engaged and they get you in the sack, the better. Like it really is this, it is, I think, competitive because Sagittarius and Jupiter, it's like very fiery energy. But there is a little bit of this like Venusian Libra Pisces coming into, you know, to where I don't know if innocent's not the right word. There's nothing innocent about this person, and they do know what they're doing, but they don't. They think that everyone's wired like them, I think a little bit. And so there's something they're missing. Okay, we'll look into that. Okay, let's read. Let me focus here. You are beauty incarnate. Seeing love, the love story. Our sweet friends take turns primping and preening each other. It's makeover day, brushing each other's hair, doing each other's nails, manicures and pedicures, and ooh la la, how stunning they feel after a day of pampering. Love by its very nature is metaphysical and intangible, but sometimes you just need to bring it back down to earth and manifest it for what it's worth. Long eyelashes, ruby red lips, and rosy cheeks. That's like that classic look that I was literally saying. You know what I mean? That's the classic sex symbol look. Whatever that means for your aesthetic, I feel like. You know what I mean? Perfume, is this spelled it funny? Perfume is in the air, and love is so much more than skin deep. I said that too. It is time to adorn your body as a temple of love. Like, exactly. Just as much as these people are sexual, they are into every step of that sexual thing. Like the looks of it, the feel of it, the taste of it, the touch of it, every step, the courting, everything. They like everything. But I think that gets them into trouble because I don't think they get the emotions connected to it. I'm also getting a little like, and I'm thinking like Venus and Leo too. They just like the whole dance of it all. Because when emotions get connected into it, it's not as fun. It like loses the funness of it all. So, ooh, yeah, I think they get into some not good situations. I don't think they give a shit though. Okay, making love, action. I just think they're like a heartbreaker. Okay, now I'm getting this image of like the face tattoos, the SoundCloud rapper, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a heartbreaker. Like the broken heart tattoo and like, whatever. Like cancer vibes, cancer sun vibes now. Anyways, sorry. Making love. Action. When's the last time you really took a moment to pamper your beautiful body and nourish yourself? Sometimes it can be something as small as getting a haircut, getting your routine along, blah, blah, blah. Okay, love begins within and projects outwards. Treat your body to a moment, an hour, or a full day of pampering. Notice the way that vibration changes you. Now allow the consciousness to resonate. Gaze into the mirror and give yourself a compliment. Love your face. I am beautiful in every single way. I also think this person fluctuates from having way too much confidence to not enough confidence at all. Like, I do think this person, strangely enough, might struggle with some depression. It's very Jupiter. They ride the ride. You know what I mean? The ride goes up and the ride goes down. You know what I was also thinking about with this pile? I do think that there's a little bit of some substance stuff coming in with this pile. I thought about that earlier. I was like, there's also with Jupiter, it's connected to, I don't know, I feel like Jupiter is connected to Pisces as well. And so I was like, I do think that this isn't just Sagittarius, this is also Jupiter energy. So I think that there is a connection to substances. I think everything they do, they go big and they go hard. They feel really, really, really happy, or they feel really, really, really sad. And it's almost like they use sex and intimacy to reset themselves. Like they use it to neutralize themselves. Like it is very much a release. And it can bring them to a little quick feeling of neutrality, like of peace. That's a better word, of peace that they crave. But then right after it's back to a high or a low again. It's like a distraction to them, which is why they're so addicted to it. And I think that people see that and realize that it's like a self-care thing for them. Yeah, right? That's this card. All right, let's pull some cards in a second. Yes, one of my faves. The fool goes out and sings his song, dances his dance, and acts his act, while the rest sit back and become onlookers, laughing at the life he dared to lead. So this is the pile that a lot of people think that they want, but they don't actually know what comes with it, right? Everybody thinks sex addiction, and not to put that out there, but everybody thinks that, like, I think people glamorize sex addiction, glamorize nymphomania, glamorize being a super duper lusty person, a person that gets it too, like doesn't just want it but gets it. And I don't think that a lot of people realize what it comes with. I remember I heard a story once about my friend whose dad had a sex addiction and how it was ruining his life and how it was ruining his family's life. And I didn't understand what that meant, right? Like I didn't fully get it. I was like, it must be because he's cheating or something along those lines. But it's because it represents a greater personality issue. It's not just addiction to sex. The addiction to sex is just what your addictive personality latched onto, but it really just is this thing where it's this addictive personality and yours latched onto sex, right? And you've had a lot of fun experiences because of it, and you have a lot of cool tales to tell, stories to tell, but in reality, you don't know how to live without it. It's something that you know you hurt people because you don't get attached emotionally, and this is just something that you need that's like not even just, it's kind of like it's a hobby, but it's like the only thing that you really care about or want to do is a hobby. You know what I mean? Like it's not some, and it's, I don't know, maybe you do sex work. I don't know if that's coming in. Maybe you've thought about it before, but it's also something that you want it to serve you, and sex work doesn't serve you. So you would only want to do sex work if it served you all the time at all times. And so it's hard. And usually sex work is a service for another person. And so it doesn't give you that shot and that hit that you need from it. And so if you were to do it, and it doesn't give you that whole dance, that song and dance that you need. So if you were to do it, it still wouldn't give you what you need. So it's like, that's separate. Interesting. So maybe you do, it doesn't matter if you do it or not. It's something, sex work is completely separate to what you need. Pleasant news is on its way. Pleasant news is on its way. That makes me think you have a roster. I mean, I feel like that's obvious. Let's pull some cards. Pleasant news is on its way. Maybe it's just saying good things, good things, good things. All you want is good things. Beautiful face, beautiful looks, hot sex, fun, drugs, you know, just enjoyment, enjoyment, enjoyment. Pleasant news, only good news, only good news. I can only receive good news. If I get anything else, I can't take it, and I'll run away from it, and it'll lead me, bad news leads me more into an addiction because I want more pleasant news. So you're somebody that has very thin skin. Actually, that's, in my opinion, that's what I think it is. If from my judgmental Capricorn self, I'm like, oh, so you have thin skin. Like, you can't handle life being bad. You can't find fun in the mundane. You can't find fun in doing things for other people. You can't find fun in, you know, a job well done, a day of hard work, right? Very Capricorn message from the resident Capricorn here. You were not disciplined as a child, I think is also what it is. You got empty threats. You got told this is going to happen and it didn't, right? You were not properly disciplined, right? Okay, let's pull a card. What do we want to ask about? What's the root of this, really? Like, maybe there's another one. Six of Wands, exactly what I just said. Good, 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 good. I want good, 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 good. If I'm going to ride this wave of high highs and low lows, let's try to ride the high highs as much as possible, right? Okay, let's see what it says. Six of Wands, murmur. Teaches philosophy perfectly. Brings souls back from the dead to answer questions. This is a side note, but I feel like I haven't looked at the camera much this reading. I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I need to keep my eyes down and like not look at you. I think it's because you have a lot of shame. And I think that that's another thing that people don't understand about sex addiction is the shame that comes with it. And it's like, so there is a little bit of a predatory energy to this person, but it's like, it's more because you have the choice if you want to get caught in the cycle that they're in or not. Right? They're not forcing you to become a part of their cycle, right? Of their roster, of their high highs and low lows. You know, you have to buy the ticket to ride the ride. Somebody that I knew that was very Jupiterian would always say, buy the ticket, ride the ride, right? But you have to buy the ticket to ride the ride. You know, they're not going to let you on without the ticket that you buy, right? It's not that kind of predator. But once you're on it, like, you're strapped in. Like, it's not something that you can easily get off, right? You have to wait your turn. You have to wait until your turn's over to be able to get off, right? So if this is somebody you're asking about, you need to decide, do you want to get on the roller coaster ride or not? Because once you're on, it's hard to get off. Just gotta wait it out, right? Ride it out, right? Okay. Let's see if it says anything else. Oh no, this is by such a weird. What the fuck is this order? Okay. Sorry. You probably have ADD, ADHD. Maybe that's where this is kind of maybe stemmed from, potentially. Teaches philosophy. No, it doesn't say anything else. Okay, that's probably symbolic too, right? Just says the same thing twice. You don't learn from your mistakes, and you need the same thing told to you over and over because you don't pay attention. You keep on like tuning in and out of this reading, and when I say something like balls, like you just tune back in there. You're like, oh yes. What were you telling me about my You're like, I came for the juice. This is a therapy session. All right. What a weird deck to pull from right now. Okay, so we have one more card of a therapy session, and then we'll get into the of it all. Okay. It's one of my title cards that I never take out. It's my title card reversed. Tarot of Mystical Moments. At the heart of... you can read it. This is what it looks like. It was reversed. At the heart of what you want is where this sex addiction came from was a really sweet place. It came from this place of really loving people and pleasure and good times and making people laugh, Jupiter, and being very jolly and being very positive. And it came from this, it came from this very, very good place. And when you found out about sex, what you felt like you were finding out about was pleasure and what true pleasure was. And I think you think, why doesn't everybody else feel this way about pleasure? This doesn't make any sense. Don't you want to just feel good all the time? And so it came from this place where it felt very intimate to you. I think you really belong to your, you really belong to you fully at the end of the day. Like, even the first time that you had sex, it didn't feel like you lost anything. It felt like you gained. And it felt like you were just getting what you always had or something. What was always in you. But you really liked it at first because you were like, oh, I can make other people feel good. Are you telling me that I can make somebody else feel good simultaneously by making myself feel good too? Oh my God. Like, it came from this really like, I want to do that. Hell yeah. Like, I like making people laugh. You mean I can do more than make somebody laugh? I can make them even feel better than that. Right? And so I think that it hurts you that it's become such a dark thing because it came from like a really sweet place. But I think that there's some weird thing with like BDSM stuff I was feeling with this pile. And I don't know what. Let's see. I'm thinking about the people that you got caught up with at first. You know what it was? It was like somebody, this is what it is. Now I already know. Maybe let's get a card just because I'm like, they're like, Shani, you're crazy. Where are you taking this from? Yeah, right. Okay, I know. Queen of Wands. I mean, come on, it's even the wands. Exactly. So here's the image. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to blur something out. Who knows? So also the act of getting caught. I think that's like one of your favorite things is getting caught. I think that there's real, like, that makes sense. Like real exhibitionism energy here. That's probably like your favorite thing. And if you're going to be with this person, be ready to put them, be ready to be put in some really weird situations and being like, oh my God, I can't believe this is when you're turned on. Oh my God. Oh no. They're like, and then they're like gonna, like, they're gonna wait, like push it as much as they can. Like they're going to push it as much as they can. They're going to really try to get caught. Don't believe them if they're trying to be like, whoopsies, like, no. Okay, so if you're not that kind of person and you only like things to happen behind closed doors, and they're gonna walk arm in arm with you like they've done you before they even do you. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like that energy, then this is not your ticket. This is not your ride. Okay? Anyways, but what I was thinking is I don't remember what I was talking about, but I know what I was going to say like a while ago before I pulled the card. What I was going to say is you were exposed to everything very, very young. And even if you weren't younger than other people, you felt like you were too young to know. Even if you were like older than most, you still felt too young to know. Does that make sense? But you're probably too young to know anyways. And you were exposed to it in a very, very extreme way. It wasn't somebody that just tiptoed into it. It was somebody, you know, it was somebody that was given, like, I'm thinking very like classic story, you know, where it's like, this is very like heteronorm, like gender specific is what I'm trying to say. Like, but whatever, this is just an example. It's like back in the day when they used to just have DVDs, it's like the creepy, weird friend, like friend's dad or dad's friend that is like, has this and that's like freaking butt stuff, crazy stuff, extreme, and it's just like dropped into your lap and they give it to you and they give it to this group of kids, right? Like it's giving like freaks and geeks. James Franco's character gives it to them, like it's giving that energy, right? Like James Franco gives them the corn to watch and they're like, ah, right? And it's just like the group of like little boys, right? So it's like these little boys that are getting these like insanely graphic videos as their first thing. So it was like you went into the deep end into it before you even dipped your toe in. And that has caused all the issues because now it's hard, I think, sometimes for you to be normal, but you really, I think the whole BDSM, something that I was thinking is I think what it is like you used to be really, really into that and that used to be an obsession, but now you've gone so far with it that you just want things to be peaceful again. And you like want to get back to like the roots of things because that's so crazy to you now, you know, because you've gone so far with it. Does that make sense? Okay, let's scale it back a little bit. I think we're going to close this reading up in a second, but there's like, okay, there's actually, I never pulled out like incense. I meant to, and now you've just been staring at this for the whole reading and it's looked really ugly the whole time. So I think your issue is that you don't set the mood. And I think that if you're watching this and this is you, well, okay, if you're watching this and this is you, what you need to do is to set the mood, set the anticipation. Go back to that, like, light the candles, have the date, prolong the date. Like, you're trying to rush into things and get to that high again so fast that you don't really get to it, right? It's like an addiction, you know? If you keep taking the same pill and you don't let yourself, you know, calm down from it ever, then you're never going to get back to that thing that you're trying to get to. That, like, high you're trying to get to, right? You need to recharge, right? You don't let yourself recharge. So that's sitting there because I never took the second to, like, set the mood, put the candle in, make it look better, give a little thing about the scent. No, I just went fucking head in. I went head first into this, right? Just like you did. And now I'm like, wait. Hold on. I'm ending this reading and I feel like I've just started it, right? So that's very symbolic. Let's get one more card. I don't know why I'm getting a card from this one. The Star reversed. Interesting. This connects you to pile 2. So maybe it's saying either maybe your soulmate is pile 2, is somebody like pile 2, or maybe, because I've already done pile 2, so I know what it's like, or maybe if you don't rectify this problem soon enough, you might turn out like pile 2. Sorry, pile 2. If you watched pile 2 and it's you. But yeah, you might wind up in that position that pile 2's in after a while. So it might be either a warning or something that a type of person that you should look for. Because basically, I guess I'll just say, like, that person basically to summarize it, that person has pile 2 has a lot of fantasies that they want to partake in, but they've never done that stuff before, and I think they would feel safe and comfortable with somebody that's already done that stuff before, and they don't need to go as extreme as you have, and it can feel very new because it's new to them, right? That kind of stuff. Don't take advantage of anybody, though. Don't be weird, but and don't have too much of an age gap because this is sounding like some age gap thing. Please don't. I just want to put that out there. Don't be weird. That's what I was just saying. But I don't know. That might be something. Look at me. I'm like a matchmaker. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we have the Star reversed. You're meant to find bliss and joy through, and you're meant to find yourself through it too. That's what it is. You're meant to find yourself through your addiction. It's meant to really, I think it's not your first or only addiction, but I think it's the one that you're refusing to look at the most. And even if you're somebody with a sex addiction, you don't have sex every day, there's like a corn addiction or some issue with thinking about it or some issue around it you used to, I don't know, there's something. You need to look to that to find yourself. That's the missing piece there's something in your 8th house is what I would say astrologically that you're not looking at. That you need to be honest with yourself through it. Okay, there's something else before we close up. There's a letter. A letter to your previous self. I don't need to write this letter. You need to write this letter. Also, if you have a kid, you need to if you're older, or when you do have a kid, you need to take this shit into your own hands and you need to just be real and you need to introduce them to sex in a way that you wish you would have been, maturely, responsibly. And you also need to give your kid discipline, the discipline that you didn't receive. If you have a kid, you need to stop being so fucking lax with them because they're going to wind up with the same addiction issues that you have. You need to nip this at the bud. Even if you can't, you need to write a letter to your younger self and told yourself what you wish you would have known when you were young. Then you need to read it and realize that you still are that younger self and take that advice now. That's my feeling. Anyways, that's your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it resonated. I guess I didn't say all the stuff that I felt like was implied. You're just a very person, I guess I should also say. Like, there's just a lot of things that you like. You're not going to be compatible with pile number 1. You might even be a little compatible sometimes with pile number 3. No, I don't think you'd ever admit that. No. Sorry, I already knew the pile, so I'm playing like Sinistry matchmaker. I'm like, okay, pile 1, pile 4 square, pile 2, pile 4 sextile, like pile 3, pile 4 in conjunct. I'm crazy. Okay, maybe you're a little crazy too in the bedroom. Hey, all right, have a good one, have fun. We got to end it on a high note, just how you like to end things on a high note. Woo! You know what? I also think you're the pile that will always make the other person finish too. Like I think that if you don't, that's what you're missing. And that's what you're missing in the addiction. That will help you. And I'm kidding. Okay. All right. I'm done. Oh my God. That's so funny. It just ended. Okay. So I'm done. Thank you so much, pile 4, for watching. Pile 4, you need some grounding. You need some stability. Where is this weird mood coming from? I don't know. How fun, the star must be upright. Anyways, if you would like a reading, if you would like your own personal reading, I sell readings at shainaemily.com, tarot readings, astrology readings, all that sort of stuff. Also, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I have a TikTok, all that stuff. I don't think that's it. Anyways, that's it. All right. Yeah, you definitely, this is the ADHD pile. I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm getting it all out before the next pile, which I think is kind of serious. I got the vibe because it's Saturn's there. This was like the fun one. Okay. Anyways, maybe you do struggle to finish now because of all the stuff in the past. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, like it's giving gas station rhino pills. I'm kidding. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye. All right. Hello. Welcome, pile 4. So this one has very heavy energy, and I'm going to tell you that right away. This one's definitely one with a trigger warning. I have had bad vibes, I felt bad vibes about this pile since I was picking the decks, and then I randomly drew the oils, and it got Saturn here, and that makes me a little, I don't have a Pluto oil, Saturn and Mercury. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go into it with an open mind, though, and let's just see what it says. So first, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of cleansing here. So we're just going to use some in neutral cleansing. Whatever will come, will come. I'm going to speak in this pile as though this is not you, and you're asking about another person. So all the other piles just had one. My dog's right here, by the way. That's why I'm kind of not sitting in the middle. Anyways, so all the piles just had one card from each of these, this a significator card basically from each of my little erotic decks. And you had 3. Even though all the other ones even though all the other piles just had 1, this pile has 3. So we have a little bit of a past, present, future. In the past, it's from the Tarot of Magic deck, and in the present and future, it's from the Decameron Tarot. And they have different vibes. Already, we have in the past, the Tarot of Magic is more artistic and creative and, you know, sensual and like fantasy erotica. And the Decameron Tarot is like medieval scum kind of vibes. Like, yeah, there's no better way to explain it. So let's see what the past card is. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So to me, when I think, okay, a few things. So first, when I think of the Ace of Pentacles, for some reason, I've always had an association with it with family, especially family money. And for some reason, I feel like Ace of Pentacles can equal like getting some family money. Ace of Pentacles can reverse losing some family money, getting a gift of money from your family, getting some kind of investment. So might have been there might have been money revolved around sex for this person from a young age. It might even been something in the family where there was sex work in their family. And I know that's not like a very classic interpretation of the Ace of Pentacles, but I don't know. That's how I've always felt it connected to that for some reason. So now looking at the actual card, it's like somebody that it's either somebody that saw romance from a young age, like saw a fairy tale from a young age and wanted to reenact it and act it out, did not see love, because it's reversed, I'm thinking potentially did not see love at all growing up. And maybe if they did, it was on a movie or TV show or in the media in some way, form, or shape. And I just feel like they never saw that classic love couple. Maybe it was something that was always transactional in their life. Maybe maybe if it's not financial, I mean, it's financial, it's connected to transactions, but maybe if it's not transactional, or maybe if it's not financial, it's transactional nonetheless. I give you this, you get this in return, right? This is somebody that out of all the piles has a high likelihood to maybe have been sold into prostitution from a young age, or have, their parents be around more seedy people and there be just weird stuff going on. Maybe this even has a religious connotation, like a traditional connotation to it, because I'm thinking pentacles, and it's ace. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Let's see what this deck says. I'm thinking like a traditional connotation because it is pentacles. So maybe there's a little bit of like a, maybe it was taught about from a young age, but I don't know. It's just giving like altar boy to me. Okay, let's see. Gratification, but it's reversed. A complete and gratifying relationship unites mind, flesh, and spirit. Love is rooted in the intimacy that follows intercourse. So that's not been shown to them. It's reversed. Exactly. That's like exactly what I said, that love has not been shown to them. So they just, from a young age, were at a bad place with sex and intimacy and love and romance. It was just something that they might have really loved and connected to if they got to see, but they never got to see it and they don't know what it meant and they didn't get any experience with it. And so already they were off to a bad start. Your kindness will lead you to happiness. I feel like I keep on getting the same ones. Your kindness will lead you to happiness. I mean, obviously I know what it means, but I'm all over the place. And I'm supposed to go to the next card and I'm all over the place. I do feel like there are some issues with pregnancy as well with your mom. Like, I think that these issues started in pregnancy. Or this person's mother. Like, I think that this person's mom went through a very traumatic experience when she was pregnant with this person, and that just kind of set them off from a bad start from the beginning. And I feel like there might have even been almost like a loss of the baby, or like something with the father, or some inappropriate, experience that happened while she was pregnant that shouldn't have happened. Yeah. Okay. And maybe it came. For some reason, I'm tapping into the mom. I feel like the mother was very Neptunian. I feel like the mother was like, what do you mean? We all love each other. We're all so happy. And I feel like the mother would just think that the nicer and nicer she was to people that were cruel, the nicer they would be to her. But in reality, that's not true. And I feel like she almost used this concept of like only seeing the good in people. Almost like she weirdly weaponized it. Like she weirdly, like this person realized from a young age how deadly it can be to trust people, and how, and I think that the mom believes that like, if I just keep being kind and kind and kind, that will lead to happiness. And so this person from a young age realized that that's not true. So there's no point in being kind. And I think that this person needs to learn now that the kindness that their mother gave others was not true kindness. And it was, again, to a means to an end. There was still motivation behind it. There was still something she needed needed to get out of it. And it might have been a little twisted, or some weird emotion that she was looking for or something. But it wasn't true kindness. And so this person needs to recognize that they need to be kind to be happy. And if they're going to continue down this path of not being kind to people, they're never going to be happy. Like, no shit, but, they don't seem to get this. Anyway, so the present card, we have, again, a pentacle. We have the Three of Pentacles. I don't know if it's an image. It's like super graphic, like more graphic than the rest of them, even though they've been some really graphic ones. Am I covering it? No. Okay, let me just cover it. Yeah, this is what it looks like. So there's a man basically like throwing a woman on top of a table, and there's like a salad. They're like tossing the salad, right? The salad's being knocked over. Let's see here. My camera's probably going to cut out soon, and I might have to. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, cool. Let's see. We have the Three of Pentacles. Sexual ability, from the pleasures of eating to those of sex. Commercialization. This is I don't know. This energy is really bad. I don't like it, and I don't like reading it, and I don't like trying to rationalize it for some reason. I feel like with Mercury and Saturn, these are two very cold, unfeeling planets. And I feel like when they're combined, they become very strategic and very like, I think it's very like, this is very like tit for tat energy, but it's a very unfair. I'm getting very bad Virgo energy, like Virgo in its greatest fall, which I always have thought Virgo, like it's like Virgo Scorpio energy to me, as you guys know, which I reference, which to me, Virgo Scorpio energy is like, I did this thing for you, now you owe me your body. I did this thing for you, now you owe me sexual pleasure and sexual gratification. Like, I did this menial task for you, so now you owe me something so far grander, is kind of how I feel. And I do feel like there is very predatory energy with this pile. I'll just say that. And I do feel like there is also this energy of like, I think there's a peeping Tom energy too. I think there's also like, to a very extreme extent, like there's, I think, some shame and embarrassment to where there's this like want to watch other people do it, and like want to like be, oh, like real, like, oh, whoa, it's my eye earring. Like real voyeurism. Isn't that strange? It's like crying. It's like jealous. Ew, maybe they have some weird eye stuff too. Ew. Sorry, I'm like so sensitive about eyes. This is just getting worse for me. It's like my nightmare. Okay. And Mercury Saturn is very calculated, cold, and unfeeling. And very much just wants, there's like, I think a weird pride element though too. Like, I'm the smartest, I know the most. I'm able to hack this life because I know the most. And there's a lot of hardships. And you know what, Saturn also, okay, I have to go to here. Saturn also deals a lot with like, in my opinion, like impotence and, you know, just like, it's just, I don't like this energy. It's just like a fear. Can I just like end this one really soon? Can I just say that if you're wanting to tap into this person's energy, it's no good. I don't like it. I don't like feeling it. I'm going to move forward with this card. We have the Hermit reversed. Yeah, this is somebody that's like, it's like an incel. This is like an incel energy, right? That's all this that's what this is. This is like, it's like giving Aquarius too. That makes sense. Saturn, Capricorn, Aquarius, Mercury, Gemini, Virgo. Okay. I don't have Pluto. I feel like Pluto would be here if I had the oil. I felt that from the beginning. This person's like going to be alone forever and they know that. And so they're like taking sometimes drastic measures to get what they want. If you're going out on a sympathy date with this person, just don't. There's no point. They don't need sympathy. They've had more than enough sympathy dates. If you think is this person a predator? Yes. And it's not the, and it is giving like almost like a cartoon predator. And I'm not trying to like make it funny, but it's giving like, this is a person you'll find in the alley. Weirdly enough, like the dark corner, that's where they are. The basement, that's where they are. Like in their mom's basement, that's where they are. You know what I mean? Like it's giving just like creep. Yeah. And it's just because there's just generations of creep. There's just generations of creep before them. There's even creepier after them. If this is you, okay, let's take some advice if this is you. Now let's do this as though this is not somebody asking about this person. This is the person. You need to get out into nature like dead ass. Like you're somebody that's like, if you're locked on your phone all day, on the computer all day, it's because I felt like I needed to bring these rocks out for some reason for this. And now I'm figuring out why. It's because you just literally need to, it's giving touch grass, dude. It's giving touch grass. Like that's your advice. You know what I mean? Just like grab a rock. Also, you know what's interesting is I did get these from little kids. And that makes me really creeped out by this person. This does make me wonder, like, I don't know. Maybe this person goes for younger people because they're more vulnerable and they don't know as much and they can falsely impress them with big words, right? It's giving no good. Prince of Knives reversed. So right now your advice is to be honest with yourself. Your advice is to get this card upright. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to go to therapy. You need to stop the lying. You need to stop the manipulating. You need to stop I feel like there's some laziness too. This is kind of like the Knight of Swords, is it not? I can never remember with the stupid deck, the court cards, because they're very strange and unintuitive to me. And I will never remember them. So I'm probably no wrong when I say this. But just like you don't care when you're wrong, I'm going to see how annoying it is to not care when you're wrong. I'm going to do what you do. Who cares if I'm wrong? This is the Knight of Swords, right? Lying's fine. I mean, I'm not lying. I'm telling you, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you see how that probably, if you have Virgo energy, Saturn energy, Mercury energy, this probably bothers you that I don't know. I don't. So if it bothers you that I don't know what this card is, then it should bother you when you lie to everyone else. So you just need to be more honest with yourself. It's giving Moon square Mercury. It's giving Moon opposite Mercury. You know, we need to get this into a little bit of a nicer aspect going on. Also, it's giving like kink-wise. It's giving like a little bit of like South Park emo like South Park vampire. You know what I mean? Like It's giving like, you know, maybe there's a blood fetish here. Maybe there's this is just a bad pile. Maybe there's a little bit of a, you know, necrophilia energy coming in here. I did grab the tarot of vampires. Ugh, this is a horrible energy. Get off my channel if this is you. I do not welcome it. Death. Jesus. This needs to stop. This needs to end. You need to relinquish this bad energy. You need to go to therapy. You need to take some drastic measures. You need to fix this. You need to solve this. Let's see. You need to touch grass and connect back with your inner child. You need to treat children how you want to be treated, right? You're treating children how you were treated, not how you want to be treated. You're somebody that's continuing these cycles, and you're refusing to make them different or better because you feel as though you are a victim of your circumstances. But everybody is a victim of their circumstances, and people have been in similar circumstances as you. And oh, she's like shaking. Oh, it's okay. I know. It's because she's very sensitive. My dog's here. But people have been in the same circumstances as this person before, and they've gotten out of it. So what the fuck is their excuse? Oh, fuck. I'm so bad with just the numbers. That's so embarrassing. Is this the Tower? I think so. Maybe you've always felt, maybe this person has just not the highest intelligence. It is the Tower. But maybe it's all in their mind. Maybe because somebody told them once that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're thinking and they're stupid, that they just believed that. You know what it is? They're a bully because they believe they're bullies. Does that make sense? This person is a bully because all the bad things that somebody told to them, they take in and they believe. And so they're a bully because they truly think that if they say bad things to other people, it'll get them on their level and they'll believe it and take it in. When really they're just embarrassing themselves a lot of times. The structures you built may not be as stable as you think. Prepare yourself for change. Expect the unexpected. Sudden and profound change. End of complacency. I knew I would get the Tower, death, maybe the devil in this one. We got it reversed. So you're refusing to accept this change. You're refusing to accept this adjustment. And yes, I am just going to go on with this this shitty microphone and this one angle for the rest of the reading because I feel like you don't try, if this is a person, they don't try hard enough for other people, so I'm not going to try hard for them either, because I have much more respect for the other piles than I do this person, or this, pile. Let's see, we have one more card. What's stopping you from this death? What's stopping you from this Tower? What's stopping you from this transformation? Also, I do feel like if you don't stop yourself, you're just walking yourself to your own demise and your own death and your own ending. Or somebody else's at your own hands. So if this is if you want more of a warning to not move further with this person or go on a date with this person, if you're asking about a crush, and then there's the Tower reverse, that. If you're watching this, the Tower reverse is you not heeding this message and what's going to happen if you don't heed this message. Maybe you're this is my husband of 15 years. Yeah, and you've always known that there's something wrong. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you know their parents. You know what I mean? They're not good parents. You know this, right? Kind of energy. How to fix this? Is this the Star card? And also, I think this is the Star card. It's reversed though. Interesting. We've gotten 3 piles with this reverse card specifically. Interesting. Oh, I know why. That's so sad. This is a whole story. What the hell? These piles? This is so weird. I've never done that before, I feel like. Okay, so it says, the universe sings its eternal song of hope and beauty. Listen and find your harmonic place in the cosmos. So that's what it says. But what I was going to say is the reason why you're connected to pile 2 and pile 4. And the reason why you're connected to those piles is because you are their perpetrator. You are the predator of pile 2 and pile 4. I brought up pile 2 that there was some potential abuse in their past or in their childhood. And I think this person might be at the hands of it or something like that. And I also said for pile 4 that there was somebody that might have like given them, what's the word? Access to porn at a younger age than they should have. And you're the kind of person that did that, or you did that, like something like that. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, interesting. Isn't that spooky? I don't know. I don't know if that's true for you, but I don't know. So we have the star reverse. So the reason what you need to heal is the fact that you just don't think you're special. You don't think you're unique. You don't think there's anything special about you. So you take the most special people that you can find and try to, like, you know, vampirize their specialness, basically. You try to take that from them, right? And oh Lord. You try to take that from them. But it's not something that can be taken. It needs to be found within yourself, or it needs to be found within this person. This person, yeah, it's like Saturn. This person doesn't feel special, and this person has a lot of anxiety, and they're potentially riddled with some mental illnesses. And they need to be checked out, and they need to be checked out a little bit of this world. They need to kind of go into some isolation or something. Or, I don't know, they need like... I feel like this pile is kind of like likely to go to jail or some kind of institution or something, be institutionalized in some way. There's just bad energy all around. They just, yeah, they need to just, I don't know how to end this reading. Be real. Let's let this end it for me. Oh, good things are coming your way. Stop stopping good things from coming your way. There we go. That's nice. Especially like stop stopping good things from coming your way. Welcome good energy, positive energy, good vibes. Welcome good things instead of making bad things happen. You are somebody that always makes bad things happen. So why don't you just kind of, if this is a person, like, why don't you just take a step away and let what's going to happen, and you'll realize that actually better things happen than you think if you just stop trying to control everything. But yes, okay. That is pile 5's reading. Did I introduce it as pile 4? Did I introduce this as pile 5 at all? Did I say hi, welcome, pile 4? I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And if you would like a full-length tarot reading, then you can go to my website, shainaemily.com. I sell them there. I also have full-length astrology readings and tons of other readings over there. I know someone's like really sensitive, really weird place to end off on. Maybe since my ring fell off, if you're engaged, maybe you need to break it off. If you're married, maybe you need to break it off. Everything's symbolic. I'm like, everything's symbolic. Okay, maybe everything's symbolic. Maybe you need to realize that more. Maybe you need to start, if you're asking about this, like maybe you need to start looking at your life and realize that things that they say aren't just, like things that they say are symbolic. Like they're saying that for a reason. They like, listen to what they're saying more. Listen to what they do more. Just start really picking up on things literally, almost. Anyways, okay, that is your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of your support and all that stuff. And I wish you the best moving forward. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.